Hey, it's Jacob Wheeler, and you are listening to Jigs and Bigs.
Alrighty, guys. Bobby Roast Beef here. It is Jigs and friggin' Bigs. And I got to tell you guys, absolute chaos right here. We are mid-March. I'm about to have my youngest turn 16. I can barely even handle that. What is even happening? Joe is down at the Bassmaster Classic right now. And there's a little bit of what I would consider loosely total chaos happening in the Jigs and Bigs studio right now. We're putting together an absolute banger of a show because crazy things are happening all over the place. We're going to talk all about them. So we're recording a little bit of the show here. We're recording a little bit of the show there. I got a special guest host in the studio with me this week, at least for segment number one. We got a bunch of really good live well calls coming up for you, an amazing FTG, and a Just a Tip. Notice I didn't tease anything. It's because it's barely even produced at this point. Guys, we're flying by the seat of our pants. We will see you guys with more Jigs and Bigs goodness coming up right after this. Like that. This is the earliest Friday night show that we've done. We've got Burt Ward in the house, one of our jig heads. I'm so glad at least one of our jig heads managed to pop in here. But let's welcome our guest for this episode right here. For our guest co-host, we got my homie, the one and only Becca Yaseen joining us. Good to have you, Becca.
Back.
You and I haven't had you on the show in like a good year. I think the last time you were on the show, you had either just got the cabin, and in fact, I think you had just got the cabin, but you told me not to say anything about it, like it wasn't even out there yet.
Yeah,
I think it was that long ago.
Yeah, well, I think it's just a yearly tradition at this point. We got to keep it going.
You're a fan favorite. I mean, of the most listened Jigs and Bigs episodes, you have two of them.
That's so great.
You're on two of them, so that's pretty awesome. I knew this guy was going to be in here. Binya's in the house, and Binya is living the good life right now. He took a new job, and he's apparently excelling so much that now they're like, hey, you can just work from home like 90% of the time now. So now he's like, cleaning off crankbaits and organizing tackle while he's handling his duties. I got to tell you, the one thing about Binya is like he's got the most aggressive ADD. He can multitask better than anybody. Like better than anybody I've ever known. Bert says finally got rid of that Joe guy for a fellow Mainer. Yes.
Yeah, I've read that when it came up. That's the best comment I've ever read. I don't even know who the fuck Joe is.
And boys, she is a legit Mainer now, like full time. We got Javi in here. He says, "Holy shit, Becca, that's awesome."
Yeah, let's go.
I told you, you're a fan favorite. People absolutely love you. So before we dive into anything and talk about any kind of fishy shit or anything, let's catch up with you because you put a video out on just this last Sunday, and it was first off, excellent job. It was an hour-long retrospective look at the entire transformation of the cabin from first buying it and inspecting it to like now here we are right now. And your vision is like, I know that the grand scheme of things, you're just like at the launch point right now, but you're 100%. So close to being livable now.
Well, thank God, because it has to be. It literally has to be. I just got a notice in the mail if I wanted to extend my apartment for another 6 months or a year or whatever, and I ripped it up. I'm not doing it.
You're not doing it?
100%. Yeah.
You can hang, though, because, like,
it's not even that bad. Like,
yeah.
We're like, oh, no bathroom, no shower. And it's like, did we miss me living in my truck for 3 years?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you spent such long amounts of time making it work, living in that F-150. You know what I'm saying?
And that's 8 feet. The truck bed was 8. The cabin is definitely bigger than 8 feet.
Oh,
no, it's not a mansion, but like it's still an upgrade.
By the way, I got to tell you, like lately, like the kitchen build That's my spot. Like the place for Bobby roast beef is the kitchen. It's the most important room of the house to me, with the second one being the bathrooms, obviously.
No, 100%. Wait till you see this Sunday's video. Spoiler, I guess. The countertop I got, I hate it so much. And really? In the video, I cut it to size and everything. Yep. I put it on, and the second I put the countertop on, I was like, "This is awful. I hate it. I hate it." And that's hate is a strong word, but the second I put it on, I was like, "No." When my dad was there, and I was like, "I can't do it. Like, this is awful. I have to have the kitchen up to good standards for me," because I'm the same way. I love having a good kitchen because I'm always cooking.
Well, and like, it's one thing to see something like in, how did you pick it, the cutting board? Was it online, or did you see it in person and you were like, that's the one?
I'm not a fan of AI, but knowing how expensive the countertop is, I generated images of countertops that I liked and the backsplash that I picked out and everything. Mm-hmm. But I didn't order the backsplash yet, but it was just like backsplash that I liked, because you're supposed to get countertop first, then backsplash, whatever. Yeah. And the walnut butcher block, I showed it 2 videos ago because it got delivered, and I generated a photo, several photos, and I was like, this is beautiful, like the walnut butcher block with this. And then for some reason, it was like the way the butcher block grain was going this way, my vertical, whatever, and then horizontal was the grain of my base cabinets, and it clashed an ungodly amount. Like, I could not have prepared for how much it OCD to the max with I hated it.
That totally makes sense, because that's something where like you would have to see it in person to kind of know. And I love that now. So if you're changing the countertop up, like, I gotta say, one of the coolest things is I love that, and this is just like, I am a sentimental beast. So like, when you mentioned having the countertop in the cabin in the kitchen be tied to the kitchen you built in the truck, like, I was like, yes, that's awesome. Like, there's continuity. Are you gonna do? You're not going like granite, are you? You're going fucking stone, aren't you?
I'm going. It's called Decton.
Oh, okay.
So it's man-made granite, but it's one of the more expensive options you can go with.
Of course it is, Becca. Because why not? Of course,
I went to so many stores, and I wasn't looking at prices. I just said, I need to pick something that I like. My mom and I went to Lowe's, Home Depot, this store, that store, and the only one I liked, again, didn't look at a price yet. Mm-hmm. It's this Decton whatever shit, and it's apparently like the most expensive stuff that you can buy.
It's man-made stone, so is it heat? Like, you can take a hot pot and put it right on it?
Yeah, it is. The lady explained it to me. If the cabin ever burnt down, the only thing that would be standing is my countertop. It would be
okay. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Okay, Decton countertops are premium, ultra compact, and non-porous surfaces made from a mix of glass, quartz, and porcelain. They're extremely durable, featuring superior heat, scratch, stain, and UV resistance, making them ideal for both indoor and outdoor kitchens.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, they typically range from $67 to $160 per square foot.
$160 per square foot?
Yeah.
Hey, go big or go home, right?
It's going to be a centerpiece at this point. Yeah, this was not the game plan, but
it's like, that's the thing. You're young. You're 20 something. You're living your best life. This is your first property, and you might own the property forever. But like,
that's the goal.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so if that's the goal, cry once, buy once. You know what I mean?
Yes. Gold-plated countertop is basically like at the price that I paid. It literally.
It pretty much is. It pretty much is. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But
not my finest moment.
Kind of awesome too at the same time. Like, I kind of love that. I would say, like, but even if you weren't, like, if you were just like, yeah, I don't know if like I'm going to be here forever, like what the deal is, like, this kind of an investment is smart because it just adds value. And you could always, if you move, flip the property, you could do that. I actually, with the amount of land you have, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah. I feel like everything is so endless on this property, and say, the only thing that I think would make me move is something happening to my parents and I need to be closer to
Of
them.
course.
That would
Yeah.
make or break. And if I did that, I'm hoping if that were to occur, like my property's paid off and it's like, well, I'm just paying property taxes at that point,
Exactly. Yep.
Because it wasn't an expensive property. Well, I mean, debatable, but for what it is, I mean, it's not anything too crazy where if it's paid off and something crazy happens, there's no point in getting rid of it if I don't have a mortgage.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
not paid off yet, but.
Oh, of course not. Come on. I mean, that would be if you were like, oh yeah, my property's already paid off right now, I'd be like, my daughter just got home right now. By the way, she turned 16 on Sunday. I haven't felt older in my life. She's my youngest.
Yeah.
I would tell her immediately, like, cancel college. You're going on YouTube, because if you could pay that off in a year, holy fuck.
I actually think I could have realistically if I wasn't doing the extension. I think I could have, but I'm investing more into it.
Let's talk about the future footprint of the property, because like you've shared some of the drawings that have come up, and you've been active with working with architects to put something together. Like, you truly have a vision, and I don't know if maybe if as much of the audience has, as much of the Becca community has noticed, but like there's been changes in the things that have shown up. Like, for a while, it was like, it almost looked like an H. Like, if you were looking at a drone shot overhead, it almost looked like an H. And now it's sort of kind of looking more like a home.
Yeah, 100%. I think my vision made sense to the eye, but on paper it didn't, because of how big I want my bedroom. I literally measured the width, height, length, whatever, that in the bedroom that I have at my apartment right now, because it's the perfect size. It's not too big. It's not too small.
Yep.
And I measured that, and I sent it to the architect, Jesus. And I was like, hey, this is what I want. This is the size of my bedroom. And then he made it work. And the way that the plans came out, it looks more, I don't even know how you would explain the shape, but less of an H now, for sure.
Gotcha.
Definitely less of an H.
No, it's very cool. I'm excited to see what happens. And obviously, like, the road getting there, things are going to change. But let's talk about, Bert mentioned it, a fellow Mainer. How's life as a Mainer? Because you've been there now officially for, 5 or 6 months, right?
Yeah. Yep. It'll be 6 months soon. I love it. I think it just based off of all the traveling I did, I always said Maine was my top 3, maybe even number 1. Yeah. It's just the people. It makes or breaks everything. The communities up here is like, everyone knows everybody. And if you don't, they welcome you with open arms. The fishing's incredible. People really care about the wildlife up here too. And like conserving all of that. Like, I just love it. And there's antique shops everywhere. Yep. I love antiquing. The restaurants are always mom and pop places. It's so much less industrial. Like, the air quality, like the most little things you don't think of is just so much better up here. And like I love being able to also purchase a gun. That's amazing. I love it. I have so much fun shooting on my property. Like, that's something I never thought I would care about. Yeah. But like, being able to like walk out in my front yard, set up some clays and shoot in the morning is like insane. It's very freeing.
Oh, 100%. And it's, I was born a masshole. I'll always be a masshole. But like, while we're talking about guns, I've been getting into the firearm world for a litany of reasons. But when it comes to like, I guess I never really had a good grasp of how fucked up the gun laws are here. In Rhode Island's up there too. Like, it's a challenge. Connecticut sucks. It's crazy. I'm going to be applying for my Utah license of all states, because it will cover me under a massive amount of states, Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont being some of them. So my LTC will be good up there.
Easy. I mean, like, very easy. I just had to come in with my tax papers showing that I own property in Maine, because I don't have a Maine license yet. A Maine driver's license. Which I will in a couple months. But yeah, all I had to do was show that, and then I I purchase whatever. And like people up here, I think I had a wrong misconception of it. Everyone is so safe. Like,
Yeah.
you can talk to the guys at the store and they will tell you every single safety feature, like they just want you to be safe and learn how to do it properly. And it's just been like a cool little side hobby, you know?
No, that's awesome. I think that's absolutely amazing. I can't wait. I said to my wife the other day, I was like, we got to start like considering shopping for guns. That means we got to go to the range and like rent some and try some shit out and see what we like and what we don't. And
try some stuff out.
And she's like, oh, I just don't know, blah, 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 blah. So I'm planning on getting out there and trying a few things out myself.
I definitely recommend that because I went, I purchased I don't know if I would say a bunch, a handful of them. Because my brother and I have so much fun when he comes up and we just shoot in the backyard. And
it's awesome.
There was a couple guns he wanted to check out. And I was like, sure. I found some used ones, whatever. And some of them, it's really about the feel.
Yeah.
That's all. Like you can't look at one and be like, oh, it looks cool. It's like, it doesn't matter. Everyone is so different too. And I can't, and like I've learned about shotguns, how I'm left eye dominant, but I hold with my right.
Yep.
So I have to train my other eye. Like there's so many weird little things that like I never knew. And it's cool. It's been a cool little journey. I love it.
So we took our firearms course, our safety class, and we learned that my wife will not be able to get her LTC because she was a very bad girl when she was just a little younger than you are, and she got a DUI, and the state of Massachusetts won't give her an LTC. So she has decided, and I think I talked about this on a few episodes or before about this, but she's like, well, she basically, because of like she's a nurse and shit, so like she can't carry like at work at all, she can't even leave it in the car. So we're like, that actually makes a lot of sense for you to just get an FID and then we'll have like a shotgun at home for home protection and whatever. And then she starts getting this idea like,
maybe I'm going to start hunting. Maybe I go out and do elk,
And like we both are on the same page of like elk is the supreme red meat. Like it is the best red protein.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But she didn't, I don't think she understood like what was involved. And you and I talked about this. So I sent her some videos of like, field dressing a deer even, and she was just like, I'm like, there's a lot of work involved. Like, it's not like pull up on the side of the road. People make memes all the time. Like, oh, this is how my wife thinks I fish. No fish. No fish. All right, go to the next spot. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
So it's just freaking crazy.
Close. I don't even know if I could hunt. Like, I don't know. Everyone up here hunts. That's how people get their food, It's just different way. Everyone grows their food and hunts for their food up here as much as humanly possible. And I don't know if I could. I could turkey hunt. I think I could turkey hunt. I don't really care for turkeys.
Oh, so for you it would be like a vengeance thing. Like I'm taking.
If I have to.
Yeah.
Yes, I would have to not have too much room in my heart for the animal.
Gotcha.
And that's a turkey all day. I don't care for them.
With me, if I'm going to get into hunting at all, it's most likely going to be duck because I think duck is the most luxurious protein. Like
you say that, but I also used to think the same. I don't think I could hit one. I'm not a good shot. I'm okay, but I don't think I'm good enough.
That's a whole other thing. Like this might be frightening, and we've already had the conversation. Like I'm going to get a chocolate lab. Like that's the goal.
Oh heck yes!
Like well, I'm going in on this 100%, and I'm just like we're going to go ahead and do this. I think I'm kind of and this is where you've had some influence on me. I'm choosing the harder road. I'm rescuing a chocolate lab puppy. I'm not going with a bloodline of nope. I'm gonna try to train her myself. That's the goal.
When I put Nova into training school, I was looking at shelters all over the area.
Yeah.
I want another dog so bad. Even
really?
the dog trainer that trained Nova was like, she's a dog's dog.
She likes friends.
Dog with her 100%. And I was like, yeah, I know. I'm aware.
Yeah, it's tough. You've got the land for it. You might as well.
100%. But Nova was just such a hard dog that traumatizing is a bad word, but I don't know if I could go through it again. Like if I get another dog, like Nova's incredible now, but if I get another dog like Nova, again,
as a puppy, yeah, especially.
I will be going crazy. I will go crazy.
I will never forget when you and I camped last September at the Cape, and she was all over. It was crazy. I mean, she's the best. She's the best.
Oh my God, unbelievable
but
dog. Yeah.
Your anxiety was like here.
Yes, because Nova doesn't have anxiety.
No.
And it's like she's so insane that it's like I have enough anxiety for both of us, and she knows how to like provoke it, and she loves it. She thinks it's so funny. She
tap dances on like a landmine. It is like, oh my, because like, you know, she'd just run up on the rear casting deck where you'd be standing there fishing or wherever you were, and she's like, I'm gonna jump and get that lure. That's what I was like, holy shit. She's such a good dog. She's the best.
Incredible. Yeah. She's
unbelievable.
Even now, like just coming home from training camp, like she understands everything. She understands what I want from her finally.
Yep.
And she like enjoys knowing what I want from her. And it's really cool, like seeing how much she's changed in like maturity of like, oh, okay, mom wants me to do this. Fine. She'll still throw tantrums.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and that's another thing is like, I got confirmation from the dog trainer. He was like, you know, your dog throws like tantrums, right? And I was like, yes. And no one believes me. Like she will throw out full fits if I want her to do something. She knows what I want her to do and she doesn't want to do it. She'll start throwing herself on the ground, like, I'm making these noises and stuff. And it's like, literally a toddler.
It really is.
Not a normal dog. She's not a normal dog.
Dude, it's awesome. Don't change, Nova. We love you.
We love you. I was scared she was going to come home and be different. And she's not.
Yeah. She's still the same girl.
Different in the ways that she needed to be.
Exactly. Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
No, that is awesome. That is awesome. So, I mean, aside from, you know, having the land and the resources and everything, like what else is like your favorite thing about Maine? Have you discovered an insatiable need to pack away blueberries for like, you know, pancakes in the winter or anything like that yet?
I'm working on it. I just bought a starter gardening indoor kind of thing.
That. Yeah.
What
are you growing, Becca?
I'm doing dill, parsley, and basil, my most used herbs. I cook with them all the time. So I was like, okay, let me do things that I really want.
Definitely.
Nothing's sprouted yet, but it's only been 5 days.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've killed anything, which is great. But yeah, I want to start growing my food. I want to be able to get chickens as well.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, chickens are pretty much top of my list. The second the snow melts.
Yeah, I 100%. Now you're gonna get eggers, right? Not roasters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. See, I would see where I live. Have you? Yeah, you've been through my town before, Holyoke.
I've driven past your house one time when we were going fishing, and you pointed it out. So
Yeah.
I know your area.
You've been around my area.
Have chickens there? Can you?
So legally, you're not supposed to. However. Like, and I'm not talking about like on the fringe of where I live, where it gets out to like more like toward like some rural areas, because it's weird. Holyoke does have this odd sort of rural section. That's not where I live. But in like the real downtown urban, you will be walking by, driving through, and there will be chickens that just cross the road. So I keep like back in the day before they made this a law, like some of the apartments, like you could set up coops in your porch. And keep them in there, you know? And now you can't do that. So my wife, I keep telling her, I'm like,
you want chickens? Let's just get chickens. Who cares?
And she's like, she won't do it because she's such a rule follower. And I'm like, all right, fine. What did we end up doing?
Different. I at least the town that I grew up in, my friend's parents wanted to get chickens, and they found out that they would get charged a monthly farm fee.
Oh, really?
Even having one chicken. It was a monthly farm fee. Yeah.
That's a little bit odd. Yeah. I'm telling you, like, we have a friend that lives one town over. She has chickens. She also has ducks. So we will, like, when they're really producing, like, more eggs than her house will go through, she's like, you guys need eggs? I'm going to bring them by. Especially when eggs were, like, $7 or $8 a dozen. Like, crazy. She'll bring them by. And I go through eggs. Like, I'll eat a half a dozen eggs at a sitting. Like, I will go through, and I'm like, I'm going to pay it because it's a really good source of protein, high nutrition. Like, I use a lot of eggs.
4 eggs for breakfast every single morning.
Yeah.
That's been my breakfast for like a year. And my neighbors will bring me eggs from their chickens,
That's
both
awesome.
my neighbors, and it's so nice.
It's the best. It totally is the best. But yeah, you get in your own little process, and you're self-reliant, like on your own property. There's just something so rewarding. It's like an amplified version of creating your own bait and catching them on what you created. That's so awesome. That is great.
I think I just need to be careful with how I go about this year because I need to build so many things. I want another dog. I want chickens. I gotta prioritize things, but chickens are very high on my list.
I could definitely see them being high on the list, and they will wear Nova out.
Well, I'm actually pretty scared that she will murder them respectfully.
Holy shit. Mark just bought
50 chickens.
He's got 50 chickens. Okay, so if I need eggs, Mark, we're going to be...
Mark, you're holding back right now.
50 chickens.
Don't be greedy. Share some with the rest. I want some eggs.
a little checklist would be good. And yeah, I mean, Nova it could get pretty ugly. Or she might be really protective of them. You never know.
I don't know because she's killed mice at the cabin.
Oh, wow.
She's a hunter. Yeah, she has a drive I've never seen it before. One time a squirrel, she almost caught it. You've seen Nova run. It's
yeah, she's fast.
She's one of the fastest dogs I've ever seen in my life. And she goes to catch the squirrel, almost catches it. It goes up a tree. She sat at the bottom of that tree for an hour waiting for it to come down.
That's crazy.
Wouldn't move. And I was like, oh, okay, you're psycho. I love it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Dial it in.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so stoked for you, Becca. Things are going good. We got to plan a trip for me to get up and out that way, and I'm definitely going to bring the boat. I think we have to hit some big water.
There's big water near me too, for sure. Like we can even be ballsy and go to Moosehead.
I'm there. I have a chip on my shoulder with Moosehead, so I'm all about that. About that.
Shit, but we would catch a vibe.
It will definitely catch a vibe. And, I mean, we could sink into like a laker or some salmon or something like that. And then I've got some recipes to try, I'm here for it. 100% here for it. Oh, no shit. Mark's in Wilbraham, he says. He says, for sure I'll share. Beautiful, man. Thank you, Mark. Always good to have a network, Oh my goodness. So, what have you been up to up there in Maine? Like I've seen some clips where you've shared some stuff like on Instagram, ice fishing and stuff. That's pretty good.
I went ice fishing, not as much as I wanted to this year, obviously, because there's so many things going on. Yeah. But I went a decent amount, and it's just so different up here.
Yeah,
it's just so different. I was ice fishing this lake, and it was a windy day, but it was beautiful out. It was like the perfect ice fishing. And there was just 3 bald eagles just chilling with me like the whole day.
It's freaking
cool. It was just like, come on.
This is
cool.
Real.
I don't know. Yeah. Every time I tell people the area that I'm from and whatever, they always call it God's country. It's 100% accurate.
That's so fucking cool.
I just love it up here. I don't know, man. It's just so freeing. There's no other way to say it. It's just so freeing. I love it. Like the fishing, the people.
Yep.
I don't know. The bugs suck. I will say that. That's the worst part.
I've heard horror stories about like black fly season. It's
awful.
Yeah. Terrible.
But it's a trade-off. It's a trade-off for all the pros of being up here.
Yep.
Like it was my first summer with it, and it was pretty awful. I'm not gonna lie, but I could see getting used to it.
Definitely. Definitely. I got a couple of things on the calendar this year. I'm going to South Carolina mid-April and fishing Santee Cooper.
Oh, what are you doing? Saltwater or freshwater?
Fresh. So this is crazy. My wife had like an airline credit for a trip that like she quasi booked and then was like, we're not going to go. So she exchanged the tickets. They gave her like it was something like $800 and it was going to expire. So she's like, let's go and fish, or she was like, let's go and we'll go to St. Augustine was initially what she was talking about. I was like, that's awesome.
Oh, I love St. Augustine.
I was like, I know that there's great spots to fish down there. I was like, there's a lot that I can do. I was like, I've got I've got folks that I've met through the show. Rachel Mullins is from St. Augustine. I'm like, we can go and fish. We've already talked for her. She's like, if you're ever in like Jacksonville, like that area, that part of Florida, she's like, we're going to go and fish. I was like, done deal. Yeah. And I said to her, I was like, well, I go, you're more than welcome to go. But she wants to bring Eleanor. And I'm like, but she doesn't want to fly with Eleanor. And I don't blame her. So I was like, well, if that's, and this was her idea. So I'm not like, I didn't even try to like sneak this in there. She goes, well, what if you drove down with Eleanor with the boat and you would be able to go and fish and do whatever. And, you know, then Eleanor would be here. I wouldn't have to fly with her because her, like, either of our dogs would just be bad to fly with. And I've heard, like, if you have the opportunity to not fly with your dogs, it's the right move. So I was like, all right, that sounds good. Well, then she changed, because the whole reason St. Augustine was a thing was there was a cafe she found online where she can hold sloths. And that was the draw.
Right. You know what? Like, it's a goal, right?
Yeah.
If you're going somewhere, have a vision. And she has a vision.
She does have a vision. But for whatever reason, that changed. There's something else drawing her to Charleston. And I was like, you want to go to...
That's what I'm waiting for you to say. If you're going there, you got to go to Charleston. That's one of my favorite places.
So we're staying there. The Airbnb that we've got, we're staying there. We arrive like on the 20th. And then it's only, I think it's like 90 minutes away to Santee Cooper. A little bit longer because I'm primarily going to fish Lake Marion because of like stump trees or, you know, cypress trees and shit like that. And the time
that'll catch anything there.
Well, from what I'm hearing, like I'm hitting it prime time.
Good. I hope you have better luck than I did, because that was brutal. If you are in Charleston, you should. I don't know if you saw it on my channel on Instagram and stuff. That crabbing with Tia girl.
Oh, that was there. Yeah.
They're the best people ever. It's such an incredible experience.
Maybe I'll do that.
And then you can keep the crabs. Like, you can keep them. You know. Maybe
I'll do that. That could be pretty cool.
It's not that bad. I think it's like $60, and it's worth it for her. Honestly, like, she's just an incredible human.
I'll check that out. That'll be pretty awesome.
I'll text her and say,
yeah. Oh, definitely. I'll do it with my daughter, because I'm sure like that'll be something that's totally different, unique. It's so funny. Ace does not love going fishing with me so much. I will let her drive the boat. You know, so she likes that part of it. And she's like, but I think the crabbing thing she might be into, especially knowing that like we're going to keep and eat them, you know?
Yeah, yep. You keep and eat them and you learn a lot. Like, she'll educate you and you're going to feel like a crab expert. And
no kidding.
We caught a bunch of other things too. Like, we caught a massive starfish, a puffer fish one time too. Like, you can catch some other cool stuff. It's just... probably one of my favorite things I've ever done is that crabbing.
I remember seeing that video and you were raving about the whole experience. That was real cool.
It's just so fun. Like, the people, the vibes, it's so Charleston. And I've done it 3 times, and I will never go to Charleston and not do the crabbing experience.
Oh, definitely. No, that is awesome. Yeah, I'm stoked. It'll be a fun time. That's a trip I'm looking forward to. And then
when do you go?
Mid-April.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, mid-April. So the timing is ideal. I think it's going to be a really good time to be down there. I haven't taken like a week off in years. Like, it's been years since I took that chunk of time off.
Yeah, but you're going to have to take a week off this summer to come to Maine. So it looks like you're doing 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
You can record at the cabin too. Like, you can still be productive.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm not that I'm not worried about at all. In fact, traveling, that's the one thing. Traveling and creating content has been the breeze for the most part. You know, streaming gets tricky sometimes, but like if you plan around and you can certainly make it work. I had a pretty fishy week this week. I got the cover off the boat. That was big. That was real big. Earlier this week, I'm sure you had some nicer temperatures earlier in this week too, even that far up north. But we hit 60 to something degrees easily.
Yeah, we hit 70.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's nice.
What? It was nice though because I got all the trash out of the cabin, like all the trash
definitely.
that's like lumber outside and stuff. I made a huge pile and got rid of it, so that was that was nice.
That's perfect, and that's a huge deal. You take full advantage of that. So I think this is going to be an annual thing where I hitch up the boat and I go out to the mall with a big newly paved parking lot. It's real dark on a sunny day, and just let the snow melt. And then just when it's all done, I'll bring it back over. I'll pull the cover off. We're good to go. I had an unboxing I had to record this week. We're recording this segment on Friday afternoon, late afternoon, and that video's live. And I unboxed 2 new rods from Urke, really nice ones, both for moving baits. My first ever glass rod. So like a legit cranking rod. And the other one is, you know me with my finesse swim baits. Like it's a crutch almost. This rod is specifically set for that. And that's got the new JDM reel on it, the new Daiwa. So I'm pretty stoked. What else did I do this week? Yeah, it's pretty dope. The river that I'm right near, the Connecticut River, finally has some like actual like ice flowing and moving. The launch I usually launch out of in East Hampton, the Oxbow launch, has water. It is so flooded. It's like halfway up into the parking lot. It's crazy how high the water is. So things are moving.
Got so much snow. There's going to be a lot of flooding.
Oh, there is. We got... What is it? The crocuses in my backyard are in full swing right now. We had a cold snap last night. We got down to like the high 20s. So like they're all closed up right now, but they'll be back. They'll be back.
Yeah, our temps dropped drastically to like even today was freezing. It's going right back down into freezing temps.
We got Ian here says, I was born in Charleston, South Carolina. I haven't caught a fish there yet, but crabs, God damn it, Bobby, I'll meet you there from New Mexico for the fuckery. I'm here. I am here for it. Let's do it. I also have some news. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if I told you about this one guest we had on the show, Matt from Boston Anglers. He designed a silicone crawfish, soft plastic crawfish. It's something like a 6 or a 7 inch craw. It's enormous. And he sent me a couple of them. He makes like various sizes of them as well. And he was at the 300th episode and was awesome. Brought a bunch of like all kinds of, not just his baits, but stuff from other companies as well. For the giveaways, it was unbelievable. But after that show, he had mentioned the idea of doing some type of an event like out further his way. He's out like toward the eastern part of the state near the Cape and stuff. And we got a date. Things are happening. So there's a little bit of a live networking meetup kind of quasi expo. I don't even know necessarily the right words for it, but we got a date and a venue, and it's coming in August. It's going to be so much freaking fun. So I blocked that on my calendar. Details will be coming. I'm going to be talking with some folks that are in the Jigs and Big circle to kind of make some things happen. I was hoping to be able to pull off a live event in April. I think this trip to Sandy Cooper might derail that as far as just having too much shit happening at one time to effectively make some stuff happen. I might have to push it till May. And then there's talk about a Hoodlums event. And later tonight, actually, when we're done this, I'm going to be on Hoodlum Cast, and I'm going to try to pry for some information about either a Camp Hookset event or a Hoodlum Fest event where it's basically just all Hookset Hoodlums associates gathering in one place. You remember meeting them from the 100th episode. They're good folks, and Hookset's like full on back. Like, in fact, today they just dropped 7 new items, 2 hats and like a bunch of what they call their rag tags or something like that. They're these towels that have a carabiner on it. You can clip to like anything.
I don't.
They're freaking awesome. They're great. And the hats are pretty actually badass. There's like a 7 panel that I'm like, God damn it. The only good thing about not having hair is I can write off buying all the hats I want, you know? I think I gotta regulate my temperature.
I just got my first haircut in like a good year and a half.
Really?
Good year and a half. Yeah. Yeah.
How did it feel? Liberating? Or were you just like, oh, how much you cut off?
I don't. It's like 3 inches, 4 inches.
So a sizable amount then. Okay, all right.
I had no choice. It was all dead. Yeah.
You got to do it. You got to do it. You know,
I just don't really care to take care of my hair. I got to get better at it. So we're working on it.
No, it's awesome. That is freaking badass. We did have some news in the world of fishing this week, which kind of sucked. And we're going to dive into that. I think we're going to dive into that right now because I'm interested to see your input on this, Becca. All right, guys, here is the deal. 3rd-degree felony. Tournament angler accused of putting weights inside bass. I'm taking this story here from Wired to Fish, and it only dropped a couple days ago. And you know the story. Not this again. Just as fishermen and tournament organizers were getting over a 2022 competition in which 2 anglers were arrested and convicted for stuffing weights in the walleyes that they brought to the scales, another alleged cheating incident has taken the fishing world by storm. A Texas man was arrested on Sunday when he allegedly altered the weight of a medium-sized bass entered in the Big Bass Splash at Lake Fork. It's a nationally known bass reservoir near Dallas. After Curtis Lee Daniels brought a medium-sized bass to the scales, it aroused suspicion from the tournament officials, and a metal detecting wand revealed foreign substances in the fish. The Texas Parks and Wildlife Department was contacted, and a game warden cut the fish open and found 3 3/4-ounce sinkers in the fish. A statement released by the TPWD indicated that the weights showed no signs of erosion and that the, quote, weights of the same style and same size were found in the angler's boat. The TPWD and Daniels have offered no further details, stating that the case is still under investigation, but Daniels was arrested and charged with violating fishing tournament law. Courtesy would, or what am I saying? Because the tournament's total prize was value exceeded $10,000. The charge is a 3rd-degree felony. If convicted, Daniels could face prison time and or $10,000 in fines. Obviously, this is a huge disappointment, said Chris Bennett of Sealy Outdoors, which put on the tournaments in conjunction with the Lake Fork Lure Co. Situations like this give tournament bass fishing a black eye, but incidents like this one are rare, and we want people to know that we did the right thing. Immediately after we suspected something was wrong, we contacted game wardens. Bennett said that he couldn't comment on the circumstances that led up to the suspicion that Daniels was cheating. Daniels was well known in fishing circles, having won or done very well in other tournaments, and having guided as well. Response to his arrest sparked immediate response on social media. How dumb can people be? I understand the money and the prestige involved, but at what cost? Anything and everything you've done and won prior becomes under scrutiny, and your name is forever tied to being a cheater. Never worth it, one user posted. Daniels awaits trial where he will present his side of things. He couldn't be reached for comment by Wired to Fish. Now, you know, anytime something like this happens, like the internet, really, honestly, anytime anything ever in the fishing world happens, folks like me and content creators and everything, we're all like, oh my God, here's my 2 cents and everything. Cheaters are awful. There's just no other way around it, you know? And Becca, I know you and I had a conversation where we had a cheater that I was actually going through like an existential crisis over this, I think, when you and I were talking about it.
We were fishing together when it was all going down, I'm pretty sure. Well, I took it to a whole other level. I was like, yeah, cheaters suck. And it's true. And like, really at the same time, like the only thing I can really add to this is like, yes, obviously his name is forever going to be linked to any type of event that he does, and that's going to follow him, and that's the price you pay. Like when that poster said at what cost, like that's the cost. Yes.
But also you have to be careful because people try, like in the online world, like they try to alter their profiles on, you know, so you have to make sure that people aren't getting in there. And I don't know, man, like I guess I just don't understand. And maybe it's because I'm not what I would consider like a classic tournament angler type. You know, like for me, it's just all fun and games. Like I can't take it seriously because I know, like, I don't know. But then you have these other folks that are like, they think of it as like a career, you know? And that's like, in my opinion, that's like saying like, oh, what do you do?
I play blackjack.
You know what I mean? What do you
Yeah,
think, Becca? What's your take?
Well, to be someone super successful in tournament bass fishing, it's tough and it's very niche, and very few people make a crazy amount of living off of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the second you get caught, all your chances of that are gone.
Totally gone.
I think if you're cheating, it's just a morals thing too.
Yeah.
It's like people really take these tournaments serious, and you're just screwing everyone over, first off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people that could have won that money, like 10 grand to some people and most people in this economy is life-changing money, and can get, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's no joke, like taking that away from other people.
Mm-hmm.
My first thought is not only that, but like, you're taking a life that didn't need to be taken. Like, that bass did nothing to you, and like, now it's dead because it had to be, and that sucks, and it's a waste of a fish. An absolute waste of a fish.
Yep.
But I liked the part where you said that they used a
metal detector. Yep.
Yeah, I think that has to be standard. Like, every single fish has to be put through that, because it's maybe, yeah, sure, it's not as common, but these are just stories that are people getting caught.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many times people not get caught in these smaller, like $300 win tournaments, like local ones? Like, It probably happens a lot more than we think, and it just damages the bass. You let the bass go because you didn't get caught. That fish ain't making it very long with that in its
with
stomach.
that actual extra weight. Yeah, how's it going to pass that? You know,
it's not. It's literally not. So it's just like all around bad morals, a waste of meat and death, and it makes no sense. You're taking money away from people. And then your whole career is ruined.
Yeah.
Why would you ruin your whole career?
It is wild. Like, I always wonder, I'm like, how often does this actually happen in these tournaments?
I think a lot more than people think. I really do.
And I just think that really what it gets down to is like, it's maybe just not caught as often as they're like, oh, it's rare. Is it rare? Like, is it legitimately rare? Like, I mean, how could you even prove that? But also, is it that the rare part is just that's how often they get caught, you know?
But I think.
Because
it's a hard, in metal detectors, this might be a dumb question, but is it tungsten or lead that can't be really detected by a metal detector? Is that?
I think it's lead.
Which is mostly, besides, like New Hampshire Bandit or Mass banned lead, but like, or what does it mean? I don't know.
There's like 6 states. Actually, I think Mass, New Hampshire, and Maine all have lead laws, but they just vary depending on what it is.
Yeah, and people are still going to have lead. So it's like, is there a tool that can always detect lead in a bat? I don't know. Like, that's just crazy. It's just, and then, if you look at the grand scheme of things.
Lead reads as gold.
Really?
I didn't know that. See, I would have assumed lead wouldn't read, but tungsten would.
Yeah, correct. That's what I was thinking.
Huh. That's interesting. Thanks, Todd.
You go to these bass tournaments where it's like a $300,000 prize.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to scam at a $10K tournament. You just threw away $300K basically if you're actually a good fisherman and you could make it to that level. Like, it just doesn't, there's literally no positive outcome to cheating.
Totally not.
None.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes it's like people just cave to the pressure, and I don't know. I've got friends of mine who have told me stories, like even like locally, where they're like, oh, I got snagged on something, and I was in my kayak, and I go over to it to free it up, and I start pulling, but it's moving. Like, it wasn't like a stump or something, and it was like it was like a crate for like my dogs.
Yep.
And it was just like holding like all this crap, and they're like, yeah, there were no fish in there, but like, why is that out there? Or like a shopping cart with like zip ties around it and shit.
Yeah.
It's wild. And you remember, did you catch the story? I think it was last summer. Somebody got caught in a kayak fishing catch photo release tournament in a bass boat where they cut a section of a kayak out and put it in the back of the boat to take pictures from. So it looked like they were in a kayak.
That's a whole level of extreme.
Right.
That can't even comprehend.
This is why, like, in the Jigs and Bigs tournaments, like, we take it's so lighthearted. We're like, we understand people want to like compete, but like, this is not, if you're like super crazy serious to the point where you're going to cheat, that we don't want you here.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
People need to just have fun. Have fun. Yeah. What happened to just having fun?
That's
just
the best thing in life.
Because you lose a tournament or come in last place, whatever. Is it really killing your ego that bad? Come on.
How bad is it? Like, I have lost every tournament I've come close. I've landed in the money a little bit, but like, come on, it's just not. It's crazy.
Isn't it more fun though? Like, you lose a few times, it just makes you want to keep doing it. I don't know. Like,
yeah, and it's like, oh my god,
mindset.
Speaking of tournaments, there's a lot. There was this tournament trail that has been making waves lately called what is it? Dual Threat is what it was called. The Dual Threat tournament series, and it was kind of branded like this, like all-star sort of like big deal. And some people who were contacted about being a part of this and who were involved, and it never happened. Perrick was one of the guys who was involved, and he did a video and he kind of like shared some information. He was just like, I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, this was like there were definitely like things that raised red flags, but he was like, I kind of also saw the bigger picture. Like, I don't know what the fuck went down, but apparently like this, I don't know all the details, and like it's still like from what I've collected, like there's a lot of like people talking and some hearsay here and there, but they're talking about Dual Threat, and they were charging like, I think it was like $5,000 an entry, like per, and you had to put a deposit of X number of them in, and people were paying this, and then they weren't getting the turnout that they were hoping for. And apparently there was this big backer that was going to like fund a bunch of stuff. So they were like, we're going to make it free entry, but it was like an invitational or something where like they approached like content creators and tournament anglers and people that straddle both sides of it. And I totally understand what they were going for. But then like the first couple of events went down and the checks bounced. Sketch. And I was like, God damn it. I wasn't sure what the body of water is, but Perrick also put a video out where he multiple times in whatever boat he was in, I think he was in a tournament too, just absolutely like grounded that boat on some humps. The water was too low.
I saw it on his Instagram. That man goes through some side quest in life.
He does. I got to get him on the show. He's like one of the only Googans I want to have on the show. Like,
oh yeah,
I got to get him on because I just think the conversation alone would be amazing. Like, he's got fucking stories and delivers them in a way that is just jigs and bigs, like perfect.
Yeah, he's comedic gold. It's just the timing.
Yeah.
He's just I love that man. He's great. He's such a great guy. Oh, we have a special guest.
Oh, look at that, Nova. We got a comment here from Binya. Benny goes, he says, that's because we keep doing slots when we're fishing lakes where we've never seen. Yeah, that's not wrong. I did a slot limit tournament on St. Clair. Never fished before, ever. It was Todd fishing in the six. we fished that one together. We did a slot a couple of different places. Never fished before. Just we're like,
sometimes
we all go here.
Beginner's luck, man. Like, you fish a place so many times, you do so good, and then you start to suck there because you think you know what you're doing or whatever. Sometimes beginner's luck in a deep body of water is actually a good thing.
I haven't experienced the beginner's luck yet. I'm hoping eventually it's going to catch up with me.
Right.
I'm hoping next time. Well, no, I've already fished the St. Lawrence too. Like, that's another one. We got to get out and do some fishing though, Becca. For real. Like,
dude, I know some great spots. Like, I'm telling you,
this shit has to happen.
Maine's the deal, man.
Yep.
Low pressured waters too. Oh.
And even like the thing is, like, this is actually a really good year for me because my work schedule this year is I adjusted some things. So that's why we're doing this on a Friday night, because I'm not working Friday nights anymore other than like private events. So I freed up that night. So I'm working like Sunday through Thursday, and my regular trivia schedule is great. I got a trivia story I got to throw out there before we wrap this segment up. And this was, it was just magical. It was just like so good. But this year's the busiest year for weddings and corporate events that I've had since the pandemic. So that lets me kind of bank some of that money and then take that time off. And this way it doesn't affect my regular income so much. So that's the plan. Like, I'm working every weekend in June, but I've got pretty much all of July and August wide open, except for the weekend of the event with Boston Anglers, and that's going to be insane.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. The only thing is I'll be building, man. That's it.
That's what I figured. I was like, God damn it! I'm like,
but I'll get away. Like
you can put me to work if you need to, if it'll actually help you. You know.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be plenty to do for sure. But I've realized that if I don't take even 2 days off here and there, I'll go crazy because I am like going 7 days a week and just going every single day and working and then I crash. So I can't keep doing that.
No, it's good to get yourself a little bit of a routine, make some things happen. That's badass.
Yeah, I think if I'm living at the cabin, the routine is gonna be very natural and better for sure. But I'm well over an hour away from the cabin at my apartment.
Oh, no kidding. I didn't realize you were that far out. It's Maine.
Yeah, it's Maine. And I just wanted to be near as much stuff as possible, I guess. That was my thought process. I was like, I'm going to have an apartment for 6 months. Let it be near restaurants and life.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And I don't regret it, but the drive every single day, man, it sucks.
It's a lot. Yeah. Speaking of driving, that was one other change that you made recently is you're not driving around in your camp rig anymore. You're a Toyota girl now.
I am. My dream truck finally. Yeah. I feel like my dream vehicle will always be a 4Runner, but it just didn't make sense for me at the moment. And I literally tried to get a 4Runner and there was nothing. Like I went to a few Toyota dealerships and they're like, we literally don't get used 4Runners anymore. Like they're just impossible to come by. And I was like, cool.
Well, and a lot of that has to do with the new versions. They've got the Gen 6s. So like people that have the Gen 5s are like, I'm not trading this in just yet. Like I don't know about the Gen 6s. I've heard like the interior, like you can't make it as camp friendly the way I do necessarily. So I'm like, I just crossed over. I'm almost at 120K on my truck.
Yeah, well, it's Toyota.
It is. I might go. Good. I'm going to worry at 300. But yeah, dude, but you love it, huh? Your mileage has to be better than the Ford.
Yeah, I think it was well over $100 to fill up my tank. And then now it's like $40 to fill up my tank. And it's unbelievable. It's good. So much better.
Nice.
So much better. I think I was getting 8 miles to the gallon on my truck. And then with the Toyota, I think I'm sitting at 15, 16.
That's not bad at all. That's a big jump up. That's great.
Yeah, I like life changing.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
Dude, that is badass. And it's quite the nice rig. And yeah, you're right. Like you're building and shit. You want to have a pickup where you can access the bed for cargo and all that shit.
Yeah. I needed a reliable vehicle up in Maine. This is not the place you mess around with what I was riding in. Like it's the mud season, everything. Like you're so remote. Like you can't. Yeah. I was getting real nervous every time I drove my Ford that it was just going to break down any second.
Before I go to South Carolina, I want to replace my wheels and tires on the trailer for my boat. Good idea. Yeah. It's something I put off. I was like, I think it'll be all right. And I did that trip with no problem to St. Clair. And I've done some other, not at that far away, but some other longer trips with it. And it hasn't been an issue. But I'm like, you know what? I just want to put something on that's a little bit more roadworthy. Those wheels are just, they're garbage that they put on those trailers.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Then they know it too. It's so annoying. I kept my old wheels that it came with on my trailer and I greased it and it like messed with the bearings and greased the bearings probably like every couple months just because I don't want to replace the tires, but I probably should.
Oh, I hear you. I definitely hear that shit. So before we wrap up and we go to our next segment here, guys, I have a story and I can't believe that this happened this way and I didn't get punched in the face. So this happened at trivia. I'm going to say this. I called this woman a twat on the mic.
Okay. All
on
right.
the mic during trivia. Now, let me back this up a little bit. She and her camp was set up like right in front of my speakers, and they were there to play trivia, and they were not doing great. And they've played before. These weren't like absolute strangers. They've played before, but they're definitely not regulars. Probably played like 2 or 3 times. And so the way that I do my second round, there's no keypads involved. What's on your phone is a buzzer button. So you buzz in, give a verbal answer. I confirm that answer and then repeat it for everybody else. I play a 10-second countdown, and the remaining teams can tap their own buzzers if they agree with it. If they disagree, they just leave their buzzer alone. Simple. So if you're right and you buzzed in, you'll get points. If you're wrong, you'll lose points. If you agree with a correct answer, you'll get half the points. And if you disagree with an incorrect answer, you will get half the points. So it's a little bit complex, but once you've played like 2 questions, you're like, okay, I got this. So everybody will have the opportunity to. What I tell people all the time is that if you are, if you're playing and you buzz in accidentally, or you just have a brain fart or something, that you can pass. But I play this when people pass.
You ruined everything, you stupid bitch. You ruined it.
And I play that because you did ruin it. Because if you pass on a question, you're going to lose the same 10 points. It's a lateral move. Plus, you're admitting to everybody.
I don't want to say words to Bobby Roast Beef.
That's what it is.
Yep.
So she buzzes in as I'm like mid-question. I can't finish the question, obviously, and I can repeat to her what I've already done. So that's what I tell her. I'm like, listen, I can repeat what you read, blah, blah, or what I said, but I can't go any further. So she's like, I don't know. She's like, there's nothing on my thing. I was like, do you see that? That's a buzzer button. I was like, did you not hear the instructions when I went over? You're sitting, and I was on the mic. I'm like, you were sitting, you're in front of my speakers. There are new teams across the room that figured it out. I'm like, what is going on here? And again, I was like, do you want to pass? And she's like, no. What's the question? I was like, that's the thing. I can't finish the question. That wouldn't be fair to everybody else. And it wasn't, I was like, do you want to pass? I go, okay, we're going to pass. We're going to consider that a pass. And as I hit skip to go on, my inner, what the fuck is that chef's name? Gordon Ramsay. My inner Gordon Ramsay came out, and I was going to be, you fucking Muppet. But twat is what came out. Becca, no bullshit. Everybody in that bar erupted in laughter, and it saved my ass. Because had I been the guy that was in her group, I would have punched me out 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Thank God you had a good audience.
And I was like, holy fucking shit. The best part, she did it again 2 or 3 questions later. Then the third time she did it, because she still hadn't figured it out. I almost, at this point, I was going to block her device, but she buzzed in before I could read the question. So I was like, so now I'm going to put you on the spot. And she's like, oh, fuck. Oh, and when I said twat, her friend that was with her was like, no, I'm the twat. I was like,
You guys can be quote twats.
Yeah,
I know there are
there's
listeners that are going to be very
plenty of
disgusted
room.
that I'm using that language, but keep in mind, this is Jigs and Bigs. We're not safe for work. It was so bad. So the third time I was like, I read the question, and the question was, so you know what an anagram is? An anagram is a word or a phrase where you can rearrange the letters and it'll make a totally different word or phrase.
Yeah.
And I forget what the phrase was, but I was like, who is the British iconic musician that this phrase is an anagram of? And she goes, I think there was like an N in there. And she goes, there was a J and an N in the phrase. She's like, John Lennon. And I was like, okay, we'll accept it. One team agreed, but it was very much, it didn't have the right letters. There were other letters that were popping in there, and it was Elton John. It was Elton John. So she doubled the points because of the way she fucking logged in. And then was like, now she's out 20 points. Like, she was almost in the negatives. It was so bad. It was so bad. I was like, my God, fucking Todd's having a good time.
Not for everybody.
It's definitely not, dude.
No.
I was like, holy shit, I can't believe I got away with that. Unfreaking believable. But
Well, I'm glad you still here and not getting beat up.
Yeah, that's a good. Or having my tires slashed or anything like that, because I don't want to do that either. You know.
Yeah, that inconvenienced. That would suck.
with an AH.
That's funny.
Oh my God! So Becca, before we wrap things up, what do you have going on? Do you want to tease anything that let the listeners know anything, or drop anything you have in the works?
The cabin, always.
Always.
Yeah, I would say just a lot is coming in the next few months of,
Yep.
The cabin being pretty much complete. And I guess I'll tease that I'm going to be building a porch very soon, hopefully.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping the ground thaws fast. And if it doesn't, there's like a warm water trick that I might try.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, I would say that just a lot of cool things that I have on the radar for sure for building and just sustainability at the cabin.
I love that. I'm so stoked. I'm going to wait. Yeah. Once you're moved in up there and you're there full time, I'm coming up. We're just going to do it. Even if it's just a long weekend, like you're only like 5 hours out.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad at all. Like I will do that in a second. My wife is like, so how many stops are you going to make coming down to Charleston? And I'm like, none.
Yeah.
She's like, what do you mean? I was like, it's a 13-hour drive. I'll be fine. And she's like, what? She's like, maybe you should. So to appease her, I'm going to rig my 4Runner for sleep in the back. And if I so much as need a little bit of a nap, I'll find a Cabela's or something to park in with everything and take a nap and then hit the road. But I'm like, no. I was like, when I went to St. Clair, back and forth. In fact, I stopped to record a podcast with Wendell Fishing on the way back. It took me like 15 hours. I was like, man, it's fine.
Yeah, it's not that. You get like that flow state.
Yes.
You don't even want to stop.
Yeah. You're just like, I'm making too good of progress to stop would be insane,
Yeah, or if you like are behind someone for a really long time or something and you want to stay with them on the road, you find your little road buddy. You guys are going the same speed limit.
Oh, that's the best. Oh, it is the best. I do have a question for you while we're on the subject of traveling. Are you the type of person, and this came up on an episode of Tackle Talk, and I was like flabbergasted at the answer that came out of this. Are you the type of person that fills up your tank like when you're like about a quarter tank, away from empty, or do you let that light go on and you're like, I'm getting a full tank when I stop?
Oh no, I'll drain it. I'll definitely drain it.
Really?
Yeah, I guess it depends. Like, it really depends. Like, since I'm like remote, up at the cabin, I don't like to go under 50 miles on the tank, but that's about it. Like, I would say when I was traveling, I did not care. I let there be 10 before I get gas.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I will, and I guess it does make sense. Like if you're in like your home area or something, but here's the thing that I've heard this from a lot of people. My wife does the same thing. Like she will be on fumes. So I start looking for a gas station when I hit a quarter tank. I'll start looking when I get a quarter tank. When I'm on a long trip, if I'm like, I could use a coffee. I gotta pee, whatever. If I'm stopping, I'm filling up. Even if I'm filling up a quarter tank, because I'm not going to waste the stop. So the explanation that I heard on this was like a part of the Tackle Talks mailbag, but the question that came in was just like, oh, I'm almost out of gas now. And I'm just curious, on top of my other question, are you the type of person? And so Andrew was like, yeah, I'm going to drain that sucker because I don't want to stop as many times. He's like, think about it like this. If you fill up a glass of something you're drinking and you get halfway through it, do you go refill that glass before? It doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, that does make sense. But you don't want to know why I stop at a quarter tank? And this is a tip. This is a bonus, just the tip, people. Now, I'm not going to say every single vehicle is like this, but it seems like 20 or 30 years ago, I started to see this in some of the vehicles that I owned where the fuel pumps are inside the gas tank. Yeah,
you don't want to. Yeah, definitely. There's a time and place of depending on what vehicle you drive, it could ruin your vehicle.
So the thing is those pumps are designed so that the fuel in the tank acts as a heat sink to prevent the pump from overheating. So it absorbs some of that. So if you run it that low, you're risking more potential that you could do damage to the pump. And I'm like, aha. I thought I got that from my mother just being a wacko and being like, oh, quarter tank, I got to fill up. Just like, panicking. But I'm like, I had to replace one fuel pump in like the early 2000s. Yeah, it was like 2004. And it sucked because the whole gas tank had to get dropped. They replaced it and put it back in. In fact, I might be wrong about that. They might have just replaced the whole thing. It cost me like $700 or $800 to fix that. I was like, you bitch. I was like, I just have no power. What's up? Todd says, long trips, I fill up at a half tank, gets us out of the car, moving around. See, that's the whole thing. Like, and don't waste that trip. If you're like, oh, I got to pee. Okay, fine. We're doing it at a gas station.
Oh, yeah. I'm not pulling over just to pee.
I'm not pulling over
gas.
twice. Yeah. 100%. No, that is awesome. What a weird fucking first segment, but this is good. Guys, we have a whole lot more show coming on for you. I don't know who's going to be with me with the Live Well segment. We have a bunch of good questions that you guys had called in this week. Some really, really high quality stuff. And we'll be talking about that. I'm not sure who's going to be joining me with that or in segment 2 for Just the Tip. In fact, a little bit of a tip here. I don't know what Just the Tip is necessarily going to be like right now. I was actually in the middle of producing that and selecting what topic we're going to cover and working out the details. And Becca texted me and was like, you want to bang this sucker out now? I was like, absolutely right. Let's go ahead and get her done. So
yeah, buddy.
While Joe is in Knoxville gallivanting and fishing with Shan Willis, and I guess they did get on him from what I heard. They got on one bass and one drum, but he said it wasn't great. I was like, you caught more fish this week than I did, bud.
Yeah.
You know, so you got me beat there. So the rest of the show is going to be an adventure. You guys, don't go too far. We got more good stuff coming up after this on Jigs and Bigs. We will see you guys in a bit.
CRM was supposed to improve customer relationships. Instead, it's shorthand for Customer Rage Machine. Your CRM can't explain why a customer's package took 5 detours? Reboot your inner peace and scream into a pillow. It's okay. On the ServiceNow AI platform, CRM stands for something better. AI agents don't just track issues, they resolve them, transforming the entire customer experience. So breathe in and breathe out. Bad CRM was then. This is ServiceNow.
Instagram teen accounts have automatic protections for what teens see and who can contact them, plus time management tools. And Instagram will continue adding built-in safety features to help create age-appropriate experiences. Learn more about teen accounts and Instagram's ongoing work to protect teens online at instagram.com/teen accounts.
Adobe Acrobat, your new foundation. Use PDF spaces to generate a presentation. Grab your docs, your permits, your moves. AI levels up your pitch, gets it in a groove. Choose a template with your timeless cool. Come on now, let's flex those tools. Draft, design, deliver, make it sing. AI builds the deck so you can build that thing. Do that, do that, do that with Acrobat.
Learn more at adobe.com/do that with Acrobat.
Perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels. Or, ouch, ouch, you're on my hair.
Okay.
I'm telling you, now I know that the listeners of the show are listening to this show in order, but the roller coaster ride that your boy Bobby Roast Beef is on, just in the real world compared to what you're experiencing in the nicely edited podcast world has been insane. Some time has passed since we left that break before when we left with Becca. And here we are with our Just the Tip, and I got the one and only Dave Urke with us.
Hello, hello, hello.
Dave, how are things now? Now let's set the scene, okay? Now for your boy Bobby Roast Beef, this isn't weird. I've been on the show at 8 a.m. before recording stuff, you know, on odd times. But for you, it is 5 a.m.
Yeah,
right there, and you are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and you have a how old's the new edition now? How many days?
2 weeks tomorrow.
2 weeks tomorrow, so 13 days today. My God, congratulations!
Thank you.
And it's These are the times where, you know, the world is the most at peace and you can kind of get it is. So this is good, man. This is good. But today's just the tip. We're doing so. I figured this is like perfect timing. You know, you've got a new baby in the house, a new potential fishing buddy. You got some time to put in beforehand, but these is where you can start dropping all these elements and building that interest. And, you know, I was like, who better to talk about some tips fishing with the family than the Wolf of Walmart himself? This is perfect. This is perfect. So I got a couple of things. I took some notes, you know, things that I think most of you guys are probably familiar, probably hear about quite a bit. But number one, I think the first thing everybody's got to consider is, you know, put the focus more on the fun, making memories and all that instead of catching fish. Kids aren't measuring success, you know, the same way that adults do. The goal isn't like catching PBs. It's just creating memory. And I think one thing that can help people is to remember that if your kids catch a fish at all, that's their personal best. Like that is their personal best. So give it that level of excitement. It'll help. Like every single fish they catch to them is a trophy. So take lots of photos. Make it an event, let them name the fish and then tell the story to, you know, the rest of their family and their friends later. Kids don't care if they catch a 6-pounder. The bluegill, you know, it might as well be a state record to them. They're so excited. And I mean, you know, the nice thing is, Dave, you've got older kids too. So you've taken your kids out before. You've been down this road. What are some of the things that you've had to get creative with?
Okay, so what has happened, because I have an oldest son, just for the backstory, because a lot of people don't know me. By the way, if you guys have not got the new Jigs and Bigs shirt, I'm wearing it right now, and it is extremely comfortable out the bag, dude. This is the most accurate sizing I've had in a long time. So
I'm all about
nailed
accurate
it. This
sizing.
shirt is super dope.
Nice.
I appreciate you.
I love that, dude.
I have kids in a wide range. I have 11.
Yep.
I have 2.5. And then I have the new baby right now.
Yep.
And I have learned a rough road trying to teach kids how to fish, because my perspective had to change. When I started with my son and we were fishing, like, I'm an adult. I am going out there to lose some stress, hopefully catch some fish, have a good time. You know, that's it. My son, and that's my goal, is to go out there and have a good time and like have my son catch some fish and him have a good time like I'm having a good time. That is not the case. My son is walking with me, holding my hand. He was about 5 years old.
Yep.
He's holding his little fishing rod. He's having a good time just doing that.
Yeah.
So I have to stop and take a minute and go, whether we catch fish or not, he's already having a good time.
Yeah.
So make sure that when you are in that moment with your kids, you're in the moment with your kids. Don't be thinking about work. This is not a de-stress point. This is, let's just spend some time together. So in taking him out to catch fish, I made the huge mistake. Let's go catch some bass. So the first couple trips, he only caught like a couple. He wasn't really interested. Yep. So when I started listening to a couple other people, like, hey, just put him on some bluegill. I started putting him on bluegill.
Yeah.
My son caught a 3.5-pound bass, probably his 4th time fishing, and was like excited. You've seen the video. I've had it up before. I'll probably repost it again. He had more fun with a bucket of live worms and a bobber catching bluegill. He was catching 24 to 40 bluegill, like, that's awesome, depending on what pond we went to. And that was his, every time he bring it up to me, Dad, look at this. Like, oh my gosh. I was like, holy cow. Like, that's so awesome. Like, it's awesome. Starting to let him get consistent with the catching, because the kids aren't out there to de-stress. They're out there to have fun. And if it's not fun, they're not into it. Yeah. So if you want to have a future fishing buddy, I've learned, just let them catch everything. Just give them the easiest bulletproof lure and let them catch everything. Yeah. When they want to start toning it down and like hunting something specific, like my son is really into catching these, what do they call them? Pike minnow out here. We call them pike minnow. I don't know where they call them everywhere else, but we got a bunch of pike minnow. He wants to put himself on a pike minnow this year. So that's a special way of fishing. There you go. So he's really interested. Now that I take Avery out, I throw on anything that moves. Like, she's not really into catching fish. She's into throwing it out as far as she can and trying to get it back to herself. Yep. So that was going to be my next point. Here's a square bill. Here's a spinner bait. Sometimes I'll cut the hooks off just because I don't want her to get snagged. Because all she wants to do is throw it and have it come back to her. She thinks that's the coolest thing in the world. Yep. So,
well, and it's funny. It's funny. Like, let's talk about some of the baits, specifically because, Simple Gear. People think with kids like Simple Gear is a no brainer. I mean, like spin cast reels are great. Like, oftentimes, I'll give you a couple of examples. Oftentimes, like, when you buy gear for kids, it's spin cast gear for the most part. When they get into like spinning combos, then you're generally just kind of downsizing some stuff. But a lot of kids start with that spin stuff. I remember when my oldest daughter started fishing with me, just got into it. We got this like kid reel that had these bobbers that had this ridge cut out of the bottom. And when you would reel it up and take it out of the water, it was a slip bobber. It would slip all the way down to the hook. And there was a ridge that was cut out that would catch the tip of the hook and bury it inside. So once you made that cast out, and then because you would use like a small jig, and the weight of that hook and the bait started to drop back down. Now you had an exposed hook. So like if they're like whipping it around, that hook is like completely covered around the tip. I don't think she ever caught anything on there. She may have had like a bite or two, but like missed like setting the hook on like a bluegill or something. But like definitely like let them target everything. It doesn't matter. That's where like you take the blinders off and you're just like, let's do it all. But most people think like, oh yeah, worms work. They get bit. This gets bit. I'll tell you what. You know what is? I think the lure that I 100% would tie on for a kid, a beetle spin.
Yes,
100%. A beetle spin with a slightly heavier jig, like an 1/8 ounce, something like that. And because exactly, you let them cast it, it's active, it'll keep them going. Because like when I first started fishing and I was fishing with my oldest, I was just again fishing for like anything that would bite. So I would be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out and catch catfish, and I'd be throwing chicken livers and stuff like that. And it was just it's the patience that they wrestle with the most. Yeah. So what would happen is I'd throw a line out there, and I would have bait sitting, and she would run to the playground or start getting preoccupied with something else. And then like next thing we know, like that rod is like getting pulled toward the water. I'm like, holy crap, come over here. And it was just like this, it wasn't actively like fishing. It was more like, yeah, we'll set this up. I'm going to go and hang out. And that's when the boredom starts and when it gets real slow. So by putting a lure on, and I didn't even think about this necessarily at the time because I was I was just like, I'm afraid that like they're going to get snags or whatever. When my youngest was old enough to come out with me, she was like 5 or 6. And I was like, I told her, she was like, yeah, cool. Can I go fishing with you? I was like, yeah. I was like, absolutely. I'll take you out. So I bought her own rig, but I didn't get her a kiddie rod. I got her a spinning combo. Yeah. There's like this Fluger Presidente one. Like it was a decent combo.
It's a decent combo. Fluger President, bulletproof.
My wife would use it every once in a while. And if I still have it. It's floating around somewhere. And what I would do is I was like, so what you see me use all these lures. What do you want to do? She's like, well, you like to throw jigs. I want to throw a jig. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's go for it. I'm like, this could be interesting. I'm like, knowing that she can do anything with it. Like, I'm like, we'll go ahead and see what happens. So I found these little like Terminator jigs, finesse jigs with a little wire hook. What do you call it? Weed guard. And I put a small craw in there, and I was like, all right, so this is how we're going to cast. I taught her how to cast, and we were fishing this college campus that I like to fish, and we're up by the dam, and I knew the fish were going to be there. Like it was a time of year, like I knew we were going to find fish there. So I'm like, I taught her how to cast. She got all that. I was like, that was a really good cast. Good job. And that jig hit the bottom. It was on the way down, and the line just started going. I was like, Delaney, reel up a little bit. And remember I told you to set the hook? I was like, set the hook like in the videos that I watch. And she's like, okay. She goes, boom. She caught her first largemouth on her first cast. And the thing is, and this brings me to my next step. She was like, cool, I caught a fish. Let's go get breakfast. I'm all done. When they're done, they're just done. Like sometimes for some kids, they're going to be like, I checked that box. So you know what I did in my mind? I was like, are you serious? Like, you really want to leave now? I'm like, we're on what could be a hot bite. Yeah. And she's like, I mean, we can make a few more casts, but she's like, why don't we go to McDonald's? And I was like, all right, fine. We'll go. And I was like, I will come back out on my own and actually like fish today, and that's what I did. And that is a memory she will never, ever forget. And like when I took her out on the boat for the first time, she'd like hold hold the line for a little bit. She'd be like, oh, whatever. But when I hooked into some smallies, she was like, holy crap. She did like driving the boat.
Yeah.
As like a 14-year-old kid, she loved driving the boat.
I put my son on my lap for one of those flux jet testings, and I let him drive it around, and he just thought it was.
I bet.
He's all, dude, Dad, can I have one of these?
100%.
When you get money, yes.
we can make this happen. So yeah, simple gear is definitely great. You know, I mean, don't worry about teaching. You're going to tie all their knots. Every time they break off, you're going to tie something else on. That's just the way it is. But short trips will beat the longer ones too, you know. Kids, they have a limited fishing attention span. So if you get out for anywhere from 45 minutes to a couple hours, if you end the trip while they're still having fun and not like running out of steam, you've won.
Yep.
You know?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was going to say is end while they're catching fish. Yep. You can leave fish because you're not going to find fish. You can just leave the fish alone.
Yeah.
And it might be against every fiber of your being, but do it because they will want to come back. You know, it's a great lesson that I had to learn. No one really taught me. So I didn't know how to teach. So when we started getting into this whole fishing thing with Eli and then now with Avery, it's a whole lot easier. I got her a button rod because she likes, Eli has a button rod. So I got her a little button rod and I put on a bait keeper, just a twist lock bait keeper and a soft plastic. And she just throws it around in the backyard and in the house and wherever else she wants to throw it. But, she's
flipping into
down
the credenza.
But as a parent, remember when you take your kids, don't take your high-end combos. Don't plan on fishing. You're tying knots, you're catching, you're pulling out of trees, bushes, everything like that. And they are going to say, I want yours. So make sure that you're not taking out your high-end gear because my daughter has her own button rod, wants my spinning rod every time. Yeah. And I go, okay. And she knows how to cast it. Oh, yeah. She's learned. It's a little bit more inaccurate for her, but she's 2.5, so I'm not worried about it.
That's the fact she can manage that though at 2.5 is a big testament to your teaching her, you know?
I'll send you a video. It is cute as hell. I got her knee deep in the creek, which is like ankles for me, and she's just casting a spinning rod, having a good old time. That's so awesome. But to let her have that experience. I'm going to hand her my rod. Okay, baby, you can have this. So don't take your high end stuff, guys.
Yeah, don't give her that G Loomis.
Yeah, just your beat up rod that you've had forever. Yeah, take that one. And if you catch a fish on it, that's another memory for that rod. For sure. It's not about your memory. It's not about your time. It's their time because one day we'll all not be here, and these kids are going to go, remember when my dad did this? Yeah. And or my mom, whoever's taking their kids fishing. That's a big deal.
Those
creating core memories.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so funny. Like I remember the first time I went out with took like a whole day, and I'll never forget this day because it was the day of the Boston Marathon bombing. It was that day. So I'll never forget that shit. But my daughter and I are out fishing and I went to this one spot and we ended up we went to 2 or 3 different spots that were just trash. The first spot, there was a playground nearby. She was just doing her thing and having a good time. The second spot we went to was a place where I actually do pretty well now fishing for trout. And I struggled for years. And this was specifically a spot that I remember vividly fishing with my dad. And we went there, no bites over there. I'm like, okay, we'll go. I took her to the fish hatchery just to see fish. And so, they have the vending machines with the feed and everything. And she's feeding them. She's like, oh, this is cool. So we stopped, we grabbed lunch. We had one more spot to go hit. And she hooked into a boot. Literally like a snow boot. Somebody must have lost it ice fishing or something. I think there was no foot in it. So I was, So we got the picture of it. We both had a really good laugh and she had a great time. I think actually we hit one more spot too after that. I think there were 4 in total and we got skunked, nothing other than that boot. But she had so much fun because we did it on her terms. And it was great. So with her, there is a little bit of interest in fishing. She likes to go. She will, when she does catch fish, she'll hold a bass, and she's not afraid of it. My youngest is just my youngest turns 16 tomorrow. That's fucking weird, man. I feel so old. I feel so old.
Don't say that. That you're winning.
I know, but I'm like, holy crap, dude. We're looking at cars. We're like, it's crazy. But yeah, she will not hold the fish. It's just she's a different kid. She's like, yeah, I love that you love this. She's like, I don't necessarily love this, you know. And I can remember when she was little, I'd pick her up. I'd be like, you know, pick her up from school, and I would get her usually an hour before I would go and pick up my oldest when she was in middle school. Yeah. And I would tell her, I'd be like, we have an hour to kill. I was like, do you want to go over to the college and fish a little bit? She's like, I'll go and hang out with you. I was like, okay, that sounds great. And if I caught a fish, she'd love if I would hold the fish near her and take a picture like I did when it was her first fish. I was like, you want to hold it? She's like, absolutely not. I was like, fair enough. That's okay. I will say one of the things that a lot of people talk about when it comes to fishing with kids is letting them be hands-on. And I'm always curious about this because, like, I have mixed feelings. Like, you want them to reel fish in. You want them to net fish. You want them to pick the lure. You want them to release the fish if they're comfortable with it. You want them to, for sure, help and be a part of it and carry gear. But, like, you also want to be careful so that, like, you're not setting them up when you hook into a fish, you're handing them the rod every single time. You want to build some independence, you know? Now, where do you feel with this, Dave?
No, that's dude, you nailed it on the head. Cause I mean, Eli's first few fish, I set the hook and then I handed him the rod, you know, to give him that experience. And like, I've done it with Avery a couple times, but she's 2 at the time. So there was no way she was actually going to get that fish to her. I mean, there's 2-year-olds that do it, but she was more in the, like, look at the ducks while she was like trying to reel, you know?
Exactly.
So, but I eventually gave Eli his own, and this is when the bass fishing stopped and the bluegill fishing started. I said, hey, when you set the hook, or you're going to fish this, and when you set the hook,
that's
lift the fish out of the water. We'll learn on reeling them out later, because we were fishing like small ponds where the bluegill are like right up on the edge. And he's all, what do you mean? I'm all, you'll feel it. Trust me. Just lift your rod up. And when he lifted the rod up and there was a fish on the end, that's when you see a child's independence and surprise and amazement come, because he was like, oh my gosh, when he would be reeling in fish that I hooked.
Yeah.
But when he got his own, I mean, you could hear him screaming from across the pond. It was a whole different set. Like, to give a child confidence in doing it themselves was like a big deal. So I definitely wanted to see him to start. That's when because I didn't have the idea of, oh, he needs to catch a bunch of fish to have fun.
Yeah.
My idea was he just needs to do it by himself once. And so I targeted bluegill. I didn't learn until later that he had more fun fishing for bluegill than he did for bass.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was catching all the time. These are all the processes that, you know, I've heard from other people that it took me a minute to relay.
Oh,
you know?
for sure, yeah.
So when he pulled his first bluegill out of the pond, he was amazed. Now, I sat there with him because I was like, you know what? There's 1 billion bluegill in this pond. So if this one don't make it, I'm not too worried about it.
No, exactly.
I was like, you're going to learn. Here's the pliers. I want you to hold him flat on the ground, and I want you to learn to take the hook out of his mouth. You know, and we sat there, and, you know, poor bluegill, sorry, bluegill didn't make it. Hopefully California, you know, Fish and Game doesn't come after me for it.
Poor little out.
Yeah, poor little out for that bluegill. But he was dry and crispy by the time he got the hook out. But he got the hook out. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did it himself, and he learned how to put the worm. After he held the hook out of the fish's mouth, he had confidence with the hook.
Yeah.
So then I was like, all right, you're going to hold the hook and you're going to put a worm on. And I showed him, and he just slowly threaded a worm on, and it was like that slow process. I had literally packed up my stuff, and it was like, all right, dude, I'm going to sit here with you for the rest of the day. And I'm going to coach you, but I'm not going to touch anything.
Build the fundamentals that way. That's the way to do it, dude.
Yeah, but I was there next to him the whole time. I did not fish. I had to set my rods down because I didn't want to get distracted from being able to give him this full experience.
Yeah.
So
no, that totally
when
makes sense.
When you want to teach your kids how to do everything, don't fish. You're not there to fish. You're their coach. You're their voice in their head. You know, sit there and just, all right, buddy, do this. All right, get ready, set the hook. reel it in. You know, it was real fun. It was actually, I had more fun teaching him than I did fishing that pond anyways.
And like I guess like the satisfaction of knowing that you've like really instilled this knowledge and got the ball rolling for them. If you focus on that, you're definitely going to be more like, you didn't miss out on a good day of fishing. You did something way better than catching. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, every single fish that they catch is going to be that PB for their you know, it's going to be the catch of the day. Whatever term you want to give it, it's got to be a celebration to keep them, you know, up to it. It's also always a great excuse to grab ice cream on the way home, and you know, you're just like, hey man, you earned it. It's awesome. And then as these kids get older, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, I'll tell you one more story for this specific fact. I took him and my wife Kelly. We had no other kids. It was just me and Eli and her at the time. Back out to the pond. My son sat there with Kelly and put the worm on the hook for her and sat there and said, all right, I'm going to sit here with you and you're going to throw it out here. And then I heard him go, set the hook. And she's like, what is that? He's all, lift the rod. And so she lifted the rod and she got a bluegill and he's like, yeah, bring it in. And he sat there. He's like, all right, now I'm going to sit here with you and you need to take the hook out of the
That is awesome, man.
I just watched the whole thing. I was like, this is amazing. So like it sticks, like core memories stick, dude. And now he teaches everybody else that we take fishing. He's like, I got you. I'm going to show you how to do this.
Once you get these kids to like understand or develop like a real interest in what they're doing, then you can start to take those next steps. Like after with Chloe, we would go out and, you know, we didn't go out a whole lot, but she had like genuine interest. I was like, there's something here. And one day I was just like, do you want to learn how to use a bait caster? And she was like, what's that? And I was like, it's this kind of reel. And I was like, it's a little bit more versatile. It's also a little bit more like direct. And, you know, I picked out some backlashes that day, a few, but she got it. Like she genuinely got it. Like I set it up, break the hell out of it, you know. And I was like, you're gonna just try and cast, and you're not gonna get very far, but we'll loosen things up a little bit. We'll get things together. And she had a few backlashes, but I was like, she's got it. She can do it. Yeah. And even now, like I remember, her girlfriend and I went and we fished. This is for one of the multi-species scavenger hunt opens last year, I think.
Okay.
And we're on the water. And I was at this trout river, the same river where we got skunked, actually, where I fished with my dad, like you as a kid. And we're on my boat and we're doing our thing. And Chloe was very, very focused on teaching Rach how to fish. And Rach is not really interested. She did hold the trout. I have a picture of her holding one of the trout that I caught that day, which is great. But so Chloe was like, so I brought like essentially my drop shot setup, and I put like an inline spinner on there, and I had some bait finesse gear with me, and I had another spinning combo to put together. And I asked Rach, I was like, I'll put this together for you. She's like, oh no, I'm barely gonna fish. I was like, okay, no problem. So Rach is fishing with this other rod, and I was like, Chloe, you remember how to use a bait caster, right? She's like, yeah. I was so proud of her, dude. Like, yes, there we go. And then when she did backlash, eventually she was able to pick it out. Luckily, like those reels are very forgiving. And she's like, pick that out, reel back up. I was like, and it's probably been 5 years since she's had a bait caster in her hand.
Wow.
You know, and I was like, that is great.
Kids' brains, they're like sponges. They just
really
figure it out.
It's crazy.
I will say this. Avery, since she was a baby, I used to walk her in her stroller. She's a May baby. So summers, spring or summer, our creek is open. I used to take her on her afternoon walks, and I would go catch fish in the creek. As a little baby, she just loved the fish, loved watching them wiggle, touching them. So I was always putting fish in her hands at a little age.
Yeah.
Teach your kids how to handle fish.
Oh, yeah.
I had to teach Eli how to handle fish, and he learned a couple times the hard way how not to handle a bluegill. They get spines. But you need to teach your kids how to handle fish, because there'll be zero fear, like for their first experience. If they go out with you a couple times and you catch fish, here, you're going to hold this. I don't want to. Just touch him. Just hold it. I'm not saying go tell your kid to lip a pike, but like,
yeah, exactly.
By all means, like teach them how to hold these fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, let them touch it so they're more comfortable with it. So when they catch their own fish, they're going to be like, all right, I got this.
So, like,
I've
I
touched
can
plenty
handle
of
this.
these things.
That's one of the big reasons why I tell people, like, this is a great time to target bass of all varieties because they're hardy. They are, I mean, for the most part, you know, you can, they have bigger mouths than bluegill do. So like that like threshold of like, this is weird. I'm going to hold this fish by its mouth, but there's no teeth. You know what I mean? It's like the teeth they have, it's like sandpaper. So they're pretty much harmless. They still have spines like a bluegill does, but because they're generally a little bit larger, like you can avoid them because they have more area in the face that you can grip.
Yes.
You know, I think it's so when people are just like, oh yeah, so what should we target? We should target bluegill. I'm like, I guarantee you, somebody's going to get a spine with bluegill. It just comes with the territory. You learn, and you've had some history with spines yourself.
Yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I have. Yeah, I had some nasty flesh-eating bacteria disease from getting hooked by a fish.
Yeah.
That was actually the hook, though. I've been spined, but that one was actually the hook. Everybody keeps thinking it's the spine of the fish. No, that was the hook that went through the fish's lip and then into my thumb.
Gotcha.
And it buried itself like right under my nail. So it was not an easy pull.
No, that is not. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, I couldn't push it through. I was like,
there's nothing to push. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. So, and then my son got spined by the same fish because I dropped the fish and the line, the hook was still in my thumb, so the line went down the fish. And I dropped the fish, and I was like, "Get him!" And he tried to grab him, and got spined, and he's crying, and I'm yelling, and I'm bleeding everywhere, and he's got a little hole in his hand. But so major bad day. But he still goes fishing after that. It's all good. He didn't get sick, so that's really important.
That's the important part. Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, I call me that parent. Sometimes they need to get spined.
It's a lesson, Yep.
Sometimes I don't want my children to be harmed. I don't. Yeah. I want to do everything to keep them from being harmed. But if you jump off the roof into the trampoline, you got to learn.
You got to learn. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's only one way to learn. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So that's great. I mean, I think, like I said, the timing for doing this, just the tip segment was money because of a couple of things. Obviously, Dave, you've got a new addition in the house, so I'm sure this is eventually going to come up. But also, we're before getting into that Father's Day rush and everything like that. You know how many dads have that? Like, oh, we want to go fishing with you, Dad, type thing. And it's a great, idea. Memorial Day weekend will be coming up. There's plenty of family opportunities to go out and fish with your family. But put these, keep these things in mind, especially if you've had, a young kid that's getting up in age and they're ready to go and fish with you and you want to give them the best experience possible. Take some of these tips and apply them and you guys will have a good one.
So, for your future Father's Day tip, guys, ask for 2 days of fishing. 1 day of pre-fishing where you go fishing by yourself with your buddy.
Yep.
You check out the water, you find the fish, then take your kids for Father's Day.
That is very helpful. Yeah, that is very helpful. Yep. It definitely helps to be catching. So we're going to shift gears here, guys. We do have an FTG this week. Buckle up. All right. So this call comes in from one of our buddies in New Jersey, and I got a little bit of a preview to this, and it's a little heartbreaking.
Bobby! And who the fuck's Joe Prime? So I have an FTG, man. On my way to work, literally. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to hit the pond. Yeah, it's a little cold, but I need some casts. I need to do some casts. I just need it. I'm just going to get out there for a little bit before work. On my way there, I get sideswiped by an old guy that didn't see me, ran the stop sign. And luckily, it wasn't bad at all, just a side swipe. But he ruined my trip of just 40 minutes of fishing. Man, fuck that guy. Right lines.
I love Brandon, dude. I'll tell you what, him and Chris, they those are the two dudes that I was supposed to go to Jersey with last summer. The whole trip fell through at the last minute. And all this winter, like those two dudes, I think I've bought a lot of gear this winter. Like it's been bad because this has been like a real New England winter up here. Those guys have been living vicariously. They have been getting retail therapy significantly. I know Brandon has brand new combos. He's got all kinds of different, sweet baits. Like he has tracked some of the most fire equipment out there. And for him to not get that he's been waiting for open water. This is one of the first opportunities this year he's had to go out and fish, dude. I'd be so much more pissed than
I was like, insurance covers the car. It's frustrating.
Yeah,
but insurance doesn't cover the fishing time.
No.
It's like, okay.
How do you go after that? That's crazy, man. So, dude, that sucks.
My neck, my back. I need a week off.
Yeah,
get that extra fishing day back.
That's all you can do. And I'm like, because they just got like open water on like lakes and ponds within the last week. So it's like, and fishing's tough. But like that 40 minutes, who knows what kind of, catharsis that 40 minutes could have been that you don't get to. You know what? I should be your lawyer, Brandon. Let's go after this old son of a bitch.
Mental trauma.
Mental trauma, anguish. You know what I'm saying?
Anguish.
We should start
Dude,
a
I'm
firm.
so sorry. I mean, I hate to make fun of this. I hate to joke around about this because that's a terrible situation.
It is.
I'm glad he's okay.
Yes,
I'm glad
that's
he's okay.
exactly it.
First off, let me do my best Joe Brown impression. I'm glad he's okay, but so if anybody doesn't know, I turned myself to the side so you guys could see my ear. So I'm glad you're okay, Brandon. I'm devastated that you missed that fishing time because I've been talking to Bobby and a couple guys up there, and I don't know what it's like being here on the West Coast. I don't know what it's like to have hard water and not be able to fish.
Yeah.
Like I have the itch just because I haven't been able to fish because baby and work and stuff, life gets in the way, but I have water. I have available water. Like I can be fishing right now if I really wanted to. So I'm really sorry that you missed out on that opportunity, dude, because that's devastating. Just hearing it, that really hurts my heart for you, dude. I'm so sorry.
I wonder if Brandon told him how little time he had to fish and that this guy fucked it all up. Because I'll bet you the guy would have just been like, takes out the checkbooks. What I got to write? I mean, because it's possible he would have understood the significance of the situation. I wonder, Brandon, he listens to every show. So yeah, fire me a DM. Let me know. Did you inform him of exactly the travesty that had occurred other than just, because he also has a very nice car. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, this is really shitty, dude. Oh man, I just can't believe it, dude. Can't believe it. That sucks.
I'm gonna say fuck that guy.
You got definitely.
You missed the stop sign. First off, it's the biggest, reddest sign that they make, and then on top of that, then you hit a moving vehicle in front of you. So you didn't see two things. So maybe
it's time.
Yeah, it's time.
I had an accident like that on my way. This is back when I was working at that appliance and electronics retailer with Sean the Fisherman. This is like right out of high school.
Oh, yes.
And it was an early morning, and I was on my way to work that morning. I think it was a Sunday, and it was pretty quiet. And there's this pretty good size intersection that I have to go through, and there's opposing protected lefts. And there was this car that was at the stop sign or at the light waiting to take a left to come across my lane of traffic. I had a green, and right as I went through the light, it turned yellow, and there was a car behind me, right, that had stopped. This guy ran his red and hit me basically right in the driver's side headlight, like just right in the front end. Bang. I was doing like 40 through there.
What?
He was like all of 2,000 years old. Him and his wife were in there, and I was like, motherfucker. And this is where like like the old Bobby roast beef, I don't give a flying fuck about your feelings comes out. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Cops are there. They pull me. I was able to drive the car off to like onto the median. I'm giving a statement, like the cops show up and everything, and the ambulance is there because like the guy's wife hit the dash, but like she cut her finger on something or whatever. So they have an ambulance and all that shit. A guy comes over to apologize. I was like, hey man, I understand. Just, you got to be careful because those lights don't work that way. It was red. It wasn't even about to turn green. It was the other way of traffic that was going to go. And my mother drives right through the fucking accident and sees my truck on the median.
Yes.
Dude, she was freaking the fuck out. Her 17-year-old, yeah. Fucking crazy. I was like, it's fine. This guy's an idiot, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
There's no cell phones. So it's not like she could just call you and be like, I'm good. I'm just over here. Like,
in fact, that's what my job was to sell cell phones, which were a hard sell in the like mid 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you want to buy this for a penny? People
what the fuck?
Like
a penny?
You know what I mean? And I'm like, just fill out
this application.
And I don't know, dude. It was crazy. But those accidents suck. And when they mess up your whole day, it's like, what the hell? I think I even went and worked the rest of that day. I was like, no, I'm going to work, of course. I make bank doing this.
Thanks a lot, Father Time.
Yeah,
just smashing into the front of me.
I was like, you got to be shitting me. And I was like, it was that time where I was like, yeah, it comes a point where you really should be retested for your driving abilities at some point or another. I was like, God damn it. So I can understand Brandon's frustration wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, well, let's take a quick break. We're gonna repivot here and come back. We do have a couple of calls in the live well. We have one from South Jersey Josh, and of course one from Eli. Would it even be the live well if we didn't have a call from Eli? We'll see you guys in a bit. Don't go too far.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi there. Welcome to the Live Well, where we crack open a ramp beer and attempt to answer all of your burning questions.
Yeah, well, here we are, boys, girls, ladies, gents, germs, dogs, cats, everybody who's listening. We got some stuff in the live well to talk about, and I got Dave Urke with me, and this is a good one. I like this one. I got a little bit of a preview with this. It's been a wild show this entire week, but here we are, and we got South Jersey Josh that called this one in, and this one's interesting. You check this out.
Hey, Bobby and Joe, it's South Jersey Josh here, butting in with a question for that EE Live well. So everybody seems to call in, or most people seem to call in and ask what you would throw, what you would do, in this situation or whatever, that situation. So my question is, this time of year, the ice is finally going away most places, thank God. What are some baits outside of obvious stuff like frogs that you wouldn't throw, that you would be like, there's no way I'm going to throw that. It makes no sense to throw right now. What are some baits that you guys would not throw this time of year? Not that it matters, but I pretty much do mostly all bank angling in shallow, shitty South Jersey water. But either way, generally speaking, what are some baits that you guys would just not throw this time of year? Tight lines, guys.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he asked that. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. And he said, the obvious one being frogs. I'm going to say,
I'm from California. That's blasphemy. You can throw a frog year round.
Oh yeah, 100%.
If you're willing.
But he says he says frogs. I'm going to say I'm not going to throw anything that's top of the water column. And the reason is this. I know that there are folks that when it's cold will throw like a buzzbait to find fish, something like that. And I'm also aware that sometimes the water is shallow enough that the column is irrelevant. Like the top is just like the high end of the only water column you have because it's like 2 feet of water, so you got to take that into consideration. But I'm not going to say like, you're never going to hear me say like, oh, they're hitting top water and the water is that cold where it's just ice out. Like I'm never, you know what I'm saying? Like at that point, it's not a pattern. It's just, I just don't have any faith in it. That's not to say that they can't bite stuff on occasion, but that doesn't mean it works. You know what I'm saying? If it has a hook, it can work, Yeah. Throw a treble hook with a weight.
That fucking works.
I see it.
But I will say this, like there are other things that when it's that cold, like that early, I'm not going to throw. I'm not going to throw a rattle trap. I'm not going to throw a bladed jig. I'm not going to throw the really obnoxious stuff and the really, I would probably lean a little bit away from your like larger conventional size stuff. I probably would throw a little bit more subtle. So like you're going to find me throwing like a lot of soft plastics. You're going to find me throwing a lot of like downsized spinners, stuff that's a little bit less vibration. You're probably going to find me throwing like a lot of like more like finesse, like bottom contact stuff a lot of the time, dragging a finesse jig in shallow water, something along those lines that's a little bit slower because those bass, even though it is ice out and the water is warming, that water's still cold. So their metabolism isn't as fired up as it would be. Give it 3 or 4 weeks, the main reason why I'm thinking about like for around here, and Dave, your situation may be totally different. When we have like ice out here, like the grass hasn't even really started regrowing in a lot of places. So like I won't throw those bladed jigs and lipless where I'm looking to get it into the grass and ripping it. Cause in a lot of times it's not even there to rip.
Yeah.
So for me, that's a lot of it. Like we have a lot of mucky bottoms too. So like, your drop shots and stuff will work fantastic, because they're nice and subtle. Covering water is tricky when it's that cold. You sometimes get into them and they'll be there. But like when it's that cold and it's ice out, that's a little bit crazy. So what about you, Dave? Like what would you think to not throw if you were like, hey, I'm in Minnesota suddenly?
Oh man. So I really think this is a good question. I love questions like this. Like if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm just going to give Josh his flowers real quick. Josh, you nailed it. Like these are the kind of questions that I like because this is not something that is a concept to me. Like I don't think this way, so it actually I have to reverse process this whole thing. So thank you. This is a really good question. I have 2 schools of thought on this. One of them is very selfish. I'll get to that one second. And the first thing is when I'm thinking, you're telling me you got muddy bottoms, and he's saying he's fishing shallow South Jersey banks.
Yeah.
So
he's probably got a little bit of grass where he is. He probably does.
Yeah. Well, first thing I'm not going to do is, especially from the bank, is try and hover a minnow. I'm definitely not going to try and do that because when you're from the bank, all it does is come towards you until it hits the bottom over and over and over again. I've tried bank fishing, like how the live scope fish with the wiggle. It's just not the same. Sure, you can catch a fish here and there, but it's not the same. It's not going to work. And I would definitely not throw a 10XD. I just wouldn't.
Oh well, yeah, because, for sure.
Yeah, you're just. I mean, if you want to clean your pond for the summer, go for it. But other than that, I'm not going to be throwing like some huge deep diving crankbait and just dragging up bodies and whatever else you guys got in South Jersey. It's just not my bag.
You make a really good point, man. And this is a piece of advice. I think I picked this up initially from Debo for bank anglers. Like when it comes to jerk baits, like a suspending jerk is just, I think for cold water, it's king.
Yes.
The issue with that is like you get so much depth, and then as the bank starts to get more and more shallow, that jerkbait starts to dig, and that's where you start running into some issues with things getting hooked on, especially if you're throwing something that's full size with 3 trebles. Yes. You run into the likelihood that it's probably going to get hung up. Throwing a floating jerkbait, though, in that situation is very, very nice. Yes. Play with the buoyancy, obviously, a little bit so that maybe it doesn't like fly right up. But depending on how you work it, they will be subsurface the majority of the time. They just float back up to the top. So this way you can kind of play a little bit with your retrieve and get that to come in. The other idea too is like a soft jerk bait will be very helpful, like a fluke.
Yes.
Something like
absolutely,
that.
Absolutely.
Super subtle.
I just say when it comes to bank angling, I have a separate box, and like I get a lot of the stuff. Like I get it from like Dark Horse Tackle. Like they have the balsa crankbaits.
Yep.
So I have a full floating box that's only my bank stuff, because I've learned over time. Sure, you can listen to whoever you want to on the internet, but they're teaching you how to fish from the boat, or they're teaching you how to fish, from a kayak.
Yeah.
They're not teaching you how to fish from the bank. And so when you get suspending jerk baits or crankbaits, there's certain crankbaits that they dive to this depth and this. Yeah, you're only in that depth from the bank. You're only in that depth for maybe 10 feet distance.
Yeah.
And the rest of it is way too shallow for what you're throwing. So get yourself a floating crankbait or a floating jerkbait so you can stay in the right side of the water column, and you'll see it, you'll learn, you'll feel it, and that's for bank angling. Now, I will say, I'm going to jump. Sorry, real quick. My second school of thought.
Yeah, this is what I'm curious about.
You were highlighting the finesse, and I love that. But where you guys are talking about, I've been there before. It's cold. I don't want to throw a drop shot because my knuckles will freeze before I can get that sucker back in the boat. So I will be definitely trying to, like we're talking about, throw a floating, something or another, because anything that's going to be a slow, subtle presentation, yes, they will bite. The guy who's throwing the drop shot who can handle the cold is probably going to catch more fish than me, but I need to move because my hands will freeze to my reel, so it's just too cold for me to like fish slow at that point. So I would throw a glide bait, something big that would draw them in, even though a small baby A-rig, like the Bass Dope one, you can get on the bait shop. Something like that where I'm constantly moving to keep myself warm. I would not throw stuff where I am sitting there waiting for them to bite it.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. Like, I think that it's the subtlety is the key. It's not necessarily that like, oh, I'm not throwing a mover. I'm not burning something. I'm not, that, because that I think has way more to do with it. Also, like the choice in plastic. If you're like I mentioned, throwing like a finesse swim bait, something like that. I'm probably like I feel pretty confident that Kitex will get bit and ripped constantly. It's just part of it. But if you change out the style and you throw like some of the what are some of the other ones, like the Mare from Crush City is a good example. It's got a different kick action. The Largo Shad from Storm has this little tab on the back that you can pull off, and it actually creates less resistance for the tail to move. Try something like a Big Joshy that's got a little bit more of a body roll style.
Body roll, yep. Or the most slept on paddle tail that I've found right now is the Ajax from Fish or Die.
I haven't thrown the Ajax yet, but Fish or Die's got some juice. I'm not gonna lie. They really do. They have some juice. They really have some juice. And I would say throw from the bank for sure. I mean, throw the things that you're comfortable with, but I would say like subtle and I like to start with the most obnoxious stuff, but there's sometimes you just kind of know when that most obnoxious stuff's not going to be the move.
Yep.
Yep. But
I know. And I've heard you say that many a times. I'm a total adverse. I throw a swim jig. Then I throw a spinnerbait. Then I throw a chatterbait. Like I work my way up to obnoxious because I want to get in there and get the sneaky ones first if I can.
You nailed. There's another one right there. You said swim jig. Like I 100% all day. Josh will say when the water is that cold, like drag a swim jig, like crawl it using the reel on the bottom. Just so that tail and that the nice thing is with a swim jig that you don't get with a finesse swim bait is the secondary action of that skirt. Don't forget about that. But you also have Yeah, the ability to play 4-wheel drive. Like, you're like, that laydown's amazing. Boom. And I'm telling you, like, a swim jig that's a cold water bait for me.
Oh yeah, me too. I like to pop it. I'll reel just evenly every now and then, about every 4 reels, just give it a little tweak, and that's what gets that skirt to puff a little. I love it. I think I would bite it.
Why not? Right? They say these baits catch fishermen.
Yep. But to answer your question, Josh, I would say either don't stand there and not reel because I'm cold, or don't throw like a 10XD or something that's just going to eat your pond up,
Although the idea of cleaning the bottom does sound like a good idea.
I do it all the time.
It wouldn't be a terrible idea. I've got a big old fat A-Bay deep diver with a bill that's like a spade shovel.
Yes.
And I might have to. I'm sorry, Chris. I might just have to put it to work. Little cleanup effort here in Western Mass.
Find a grassy spot and just cut yourself some lanes ahead of time while it's just seedlings, while it's just growing. Just dig them out.
Not a terrible idea. I don't know. I might mess around with that. I would
throw down brush piles.
I would pay anything right now to be able to launch my boat and just get skunked. That's where I'm at. Crush some Diet Cokes, freeze my ass off, and then get off the water and be like, well, that was worth it.
I'm sorry, man. I feel so bad for you. Like, every time we talk about this, I'm so sorry. Like, I just don't understand it. But I also didn't understand that you had to shovel where you want to park either.
I know.
So that's just never been a concept.
That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. So, we can't have a live well segment here without hearing from Eli. So let's see what we got here. Now, I didn't preview this one. This ought to be pretty good.
Hey, it's Eli for a question for live well. I was talking to the boys over at Small Ponds Big Dreams podcast and talking to a few other people about just gear and different stuff and buying more expensive or buying cheaper and all this. So my question is, and then this is really, hopefully it sparks some debate. Hopefully it's not just I do this and move on, but hopefully it sparks some debate. Would you rather buy cheaper, and I'm not saying like cheaply built, but like cheaper in terms of price gear, and then have to buy it every 2 to 3 years, or more expensive gear that might last 6 to 8 years and not have to buy it as much? Where on the spectrum would you land, and do you think can you find an argument for both, and maybe play a little devil's advocate if you both agree? Where could you see arguments on the other side? But hopefully it sparks some debate. So, would you rather buy it cheap and replace it more often, or more expensive and have it last a lot longer? What are your thoughts?
I love this question, man, because this relates to everything as a consumer.
Everything.
Everything. It totally does. But as far as like fishing goes, I think my opinion out of the gate is that you're going to get different opinions based on the level of experience and I guess based on the level of experience of each angler. Because I remember when I first started fishing, I looked at lures as disposable. They were you bought them and they were not meant to be something you gave to your kids if you use them. You know what I mean? And my take on it was like you're always going to have snags happen. You might not be able to get all of them back. But what I've realized over time is that you can get a lot of them back, most of them, in fact. Sometimes you got to break off a bait here and there, like whatever. Sometimes, but it is what it is. I'll give you a perfect example. Like I had this 6 Sense Provoke 106 that I caught my first 6-pounder on. Right?
Oh yeah,
absolute beaut. And I'm like, I had a bunch of people say, oh hey, are you going to keep that? Are you going to like cut that off and put it off to the side? And I'm like, no, it's got the juice, I'm going to fish it. Of course, that's what it's for. And I think that next outing I got hung up in like something and I was on the bank again and I ended up breaking off. I tried so hard to free it up, but you get 9 points, in a lay down, and you're like, this ain't happening. This is going to be bad. Or it might have even been a tree. I don't even know. But it was, it's just one of those things. I think that you'll find some people that are like, I have had this one jig for so long, and that maybe like the barb is totally worn. Like I've got a jig, a finesse jig, a Giltech finesse jig that I think I calculated like I caught like 45 or 55 fish on this one jig. That the barb was just I would get them to the boat and I was like, you go to remove the hook and you're like, God, that comes out so easy. And it was just so many of them. I was like, I'm retiring this jig, and it hangs from the mirror in my truck. I
love it.
So I'm like,
hey, those are owner hooks too. You got a
good
decent
hooks.
Amount of fish on that thing.
100%.
Awesome.
And it was a bunch of different species too. So that thing was getting stuck in a different toughness of like mouth tissue and stuff. So it was a lot of fish. So I'm like, this thing does, and that's what I think what it gets to. To me, it's about value. It's like, does that lure owe you anything? And that's really what it gets down to. Now that's baits. Other gear. Rods, reels, stuff like that. That shit's not disposable. No. And I think that, in my opinion, I'd like to say, like, when it comes to fishing gear, it depends on how well you take care of your equipment. Because
absolutely.
If you're the dude that has like a handful of combos and they go in the bed of your truck, no fucking covers on anything, no nothing, and you're out all day and they're just bouncing around and whatever, and you're just throwing your shit in the truck and doing your thing and coming back and you're never cleaning anything, dude, buy the cheapest stuff because it's going to eventually wear on you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Buy the stuff that is replaceable, But if you're out there and you're taking care of your stuff and it's decent, that changes the level of value for you,
Absolutely.
I just talked about this recently where like Daiwa has in their I don't even know if this is on the American reels, but at least in the JDM reels, there's like a new gearing cut that they use that has longer teeth. And the idea is that all teeth on gears will eventually start to wear, but because they bite so much more deeper, the wearing, it just takes longer. There's more tooth for it to grab, so it's more effective for a longer period of time. So as it wears down, you'll just naturally get more life out of it. That, like, to me is a good statement that, like, you should own this for a long period of time. You should have this reel and have it be functional in like a decade. Which absolutely. I think is reasonable. Yeah. Like some people fit right in the middle. Like I don't take the best care of my gear as far as like cleaning my reels and everything else, but I do take amazing care of it when it's packed up. Like all of my reels have covers, all of my gear, like I take pretty good care of it, like on the day-to-day level. And obviously like I'll take a reel apart and like lubricate some stuff when it gets a little bit noisy or something like that when I think about it. But I have gotten really lazy over the last handful of years. I don't maintain spinning reels at all. So I don't spend money there. I'm like, I use them till they're done, and then I'll replace them. Plus, this gives me the ability to try some different stuff. So I think for that's a little bit different. I think when you're talking about rods, it might even be a little bit because there's performance. There's performance and there's warranty to consider.
Yes.
There's a lot going on. Like you want the rods with the most sensitivity, you want the most bang for your buck, but are you like overpaying? And like, I love that statement from Tommy Boy where he's like, I can get a good look at a T-bone sticking my head up a cow's ass, but I'd rather take the butcher's word for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I could guarantee you a piece of shit, but it's like, so there's everybody's going to weigh in a little bit differently. And even I've heard people ask the question before. They're like, where would you put more money in, rods or reels? And I'm like, oh, God, that's so tough. Reels because I want them to be tough and last a long time. But rods because I want like the best sensitivity I can get out of it. I want the best actions I can get out of it. What do you say?
No, I agree with you. For the rods and reels segment real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 gear ratios. Well, 4 now because I have a bunch of swim bait rods that I work with.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the reels, I get the reels that I'm comfortable with, that I like. I'm going to say this as a blanket statement across the board. It comes in any industry, almost. You get what you pay for.
You do.
So I'm a person who would rather spend the extra money ahead of time. I'm a homeowner, but I'm also a tradesman.
Yeah.
So my tools, I'm getting higher end tools. I'm working with decent tools. Now, when I go to my buddy's house, who's just a homeowner, and I'm like, he's all, can you fix this? I'm like, yeah, you got a drill here? Cause I didn't bring my drill or whatever, which is rare. He's like, oh yeah. And it's like the neon green Ryobis. It's a drill.
Yeah.
It screws the screw in. Not something I would use, but for him, he's only doing something once a year. So he doesn't need to have crazy tools.
Yeah.
And he throws them in a box. I'm like, dude, you don't even like take care of these things. You're like, what? You leave the battery attached? Like, all right, whatever. Like people, it's the same thing. Like you go to your buddy's house who fishes once every 6 months. He's going to have, what's up? Oh, okay. He's gonna have like ugly sticks. He's gonna have, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like because he only fishes once every 6 months. He doesn't need to have the you got the Ryobi with the battery attached. My man.
As he was looking at me right there, I was like, oh my God, I'm that guy.
So I'm saying this in tools, because I'm blanket stating this. So when you have your buddy who, he fishes every 6 months, he's got the ugly stick full combo, like he's not going to have a bunch of rods, and they're thrown in the bed of the truck. They're leaning up in the corner of the garage. They're just somewhere, right? I will pay the extra money ahead of time, not only for warranty, but when it comes to rods and reels.
Yeah.
My rods, every rod has a different action. They have a reason.
Yeah.
My reels, they have gear ratios for a reason, but that's it. But I will spend the money ahead of time to know that my reel will function the way it needs to when I have a fish on the end of the line for a long period of time.
Yeah.
So I buy my reels once for a very long time.
Yep.
So when it comes to tackle, I love how you kind of itemize those two different things of tackle versus your gear, because your rods, get rod gloves, get evolve rod sleeves, get a rod sleeve, because it's not necessarily just the blank itself or the rod itself, it's the guides. Like each guide costs a lot of money, and if you have to swap out your guides, if you're the ugly stick guy, yeah, you can go buy the guide at Walmart and glue it right up and you're good to go. If you are what is it, the NRX guy, if you're full on G Loomis guy, you don't want to put that guide back on yourself. Nope. That's never going to be the same rod, especially if you lose a tip, so why are you going to spend all this money to beat it up? Like I get something and I take care of it. So get yourself a rod sleeve to protect the guides and the rods.
Yep.
Rod gloves makes a really good reel, bait casting and spinning rod. Like you can leave the reels attached to your rod if you want, and it still wraps them and protects them just fine. Take care of your gear. You spent the money to take care of it, and it'll take care of you. Yeah. I'm not a big bait cast reel cleaner guy because I don't like disassembling them and like doing all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'll clean my spinning reels, but my bait casting, I just kind of Q-tip them out and grease them like with solid grease on the gears, and then a little bit of lube in the spindle, and call it a day. Like and they've lasted me 6 years. Like I'm happy with them.
That's exactly it. I've heard that you, when it comes to like baitcaster maintenance, like that's really the only important stuff to do. Like a lot of that stuff you don't want exposed to air ever.
No, it's supposed to stay sealed. And if it does, if you take it off, it's just like a car, replace the gaskets. Yeah. Every time. Yeah. So when it comes to your gear, spend the money, get the performance. I am a terrible financial advisor. But if you don't have the money and you just want to go fishing, start small and work on it, know, and just take care of your stuff. If you feel that you were good at taking care of these things, that you went out and you got an ugly stick combo and you fish every day, and after a year, it still looks damn near like the day you bought it, put some money aside and invest in something a little bit better. Yeah, I get that. But until then, and that's for the people who just can't go out and buy a $600 combo or $1,000 combo. That's most people. What I'm saying? Like, rods and reels are crazy. I mean, with everything that's been going on, like all it costs has just gone so far through the roof. You're going to spend some money if you really want to get some good stuff, but you will notice the difference when you get something that is worth the dollar. Yeah. Now, baits, totally different story. My baits range from cheap as you can get at Walmart, all the way to I should not have spent that money on that bait for sure.
Yeah.
But when it comes to hard plastics, they perform differently per cost.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you can go get some cheap ones, or not cheap ones. You can get some very cost-effective ones at like Dark Horse Tackle. You can get a really good cost-effective, like these are high-performing baits for a really cheap price. Also, you can go get some cheap ones because like you said, in the beginning of fishing, every lure is a burner. Like it's all just burnable. So hard plastics, you can kind of, if you're learning to fish, start with some cheap stuff or get like a subscription where they just send you the right stuff, you know, something like that where you don't have to really think about it and you can fish it and learn, you know, and if you lose it, it's okay. It's probably coming in a box next month, you know, like, or in a couple months, you'll get it back. It's not a big deal. But if you are, when you get into soft plastics, there's a weird curve because I've spent some good money on soft plastics.
Yeah.
And they fall apart.
Yeah.
But I've spent some little money on soft plastics and they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
So that's to each's talent. That's a to your fishing ability. That's where you're at in fishing is where I feel like soft plastic game lies. Like you're talking about tearing the tabs off the paddle tails and stuff. Like in the beginning, you don't know that. You just fish it. You just reel it out.
Yeah.
You cast it and reel it back in, you know? So
chuck and wind.
Over time, you learn with experience. So when it comes to, whether you buy high-end gear or buy high-priced gear or low-priced gear, you get what you pay for.
No,
so just keep that in mind.
I agree with that, and I think I'm glad you brought up soft plastics because I think that is probably where people get so bent out of shape about the value because they'll spend, you know, somewhere between $5 and $10 usually on a bag of like soft plastic whatevers. And they always compare them to another brand. And they're like, oh, well, these last longer. Cool. I mean, go ahead. The only soft plastics I have that have lasted me like the last 10 plus years that I've been fishing are the ones I haven't thrown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're the ones where I was like, oh, this looks cool. And I was like, I never put it on anything. And I have so many soft plastics that are like that. But in my mind, I'm like, there might be a use for this one day. And I don't fucking do it. It's like that box of cables every guy has. And they're just like, yeah, this fucking S-video cable might come in useful. I've never used one of those in my fucking almost 50 years of life. And
audio visual cables.
Yeah, you just like
2026.
Okay, I might need this. And you're like, you're not going to need this. The reality of it is like when it comes down to soft plastics, and that's my favorite. Like I talk about like things in fishing and things in life where everybody needs to make it like a dick measuring contest. The choice you make in soft plastics, that is the weakest flex of a dick measuring contest that there is. It's like if you want to use a Yamamoto Senko versus a dinger or versus a Magnum Baits reg stick or versus, you know, I mean, everybody makes one. Like you do you, boo boo. You know, it's okay. Nobody's going to be mad at you. It's fine. Nothing beats an Old Glory Gagger. Yeah. I'm going to just say that. The reality of it is like when it comes to soft plastics, there is an element that gets overlooked, and that's the recipe, you know? So like, and sometimes like you'll have like a shape of a plastic, and that plastic from one brand reacts a different way. Like it's softer. So it, on a fall, on a lighter jig, it has a lot of movement, but maybe another brand with something similar, it requires a little bit of a heavier jig in order to get it to have that action. Maybe they make something in a slightly different size in something else. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like soft plastics are one of those things where like you're buying those and they're replaceable. Like you're going to buy more of them. They're going to get torn up. You know, things are going to happen. They might get left out in the sun and like melt. If you're buying Z-Man, you might mess up one time, or you might leave your Z-Man trailer on your Z-Man skirt that the rubber reacts with, and you know what I mean. Like these are things like you can't get married to like I bought this soft plastic bag in 1977 and it's been here freaking 48 years, and we're in business. You know,
You got crispy critters at that point.
Yeah, it's like there is a shelf life on some of this stuff, and it's it is what it is. So I would say I think you nailed it as far as like rods and reels are your big investment, because year to year you're gonna bring those over. You probably shouldn't lose, or if you're losing rods and reels the way you lose hard baits, stop fishing. Get help.
Yeah.
Like you should be getting back with that. And everybody places value on different things. I love the drill reference. I love that because it's one of the things that I talk about a lot is like, for me, my work stuff is production equipment. So like when I first got into back into business where I was doing events and things, I needed some speakers. And I was getting into this with like, how can I get into this as cheaply as possible? So I bought like a cheap garbage set of speakers, like garbage. They're over there. I've used them twice. They're horrible. They sound like shit. They're heavier than anything I have. And they're not reliable. I know that they're not roadworthy. So then I was like, I got into it and I started doing some work, and I would look around at the market and see what had a proven reputation, because that's how you have to base a lot of this stuff, and figure out what worked kind of the best. And there were two brands that kept coming up: Electro Voice, EV, and QSC. Those two brands started coming up. We're talking about powered speakers that have an amplifier built into them. I plug them into a power source and I get them audio somehow, wired or wirelessly. What I ultimately decided was, I was like, Electro Voice had a line that came out that was like more of like a budget entry level line, but they had really good performance, really, really good onboard sound processing, like they were quality. So I got into them. I had about 2 years of use out of them. I spent probably about $350, $400 a cabinet for them, and they did fine. And I used the shit out of them. I was using them like five nights a week, most nights. Between trivia and other events, like I used the hell out of them. I would store them in bags. They had bags, and I would take care of them like I do everything else. I had a couple of instances. Shit happens when you're loading up out of these events, like where one of them rolled off my cart, hit the ground. It wasn't long before that one started to give me problems. It was probably about 2 or 3 months. Like there was something that had cracked or something on a board, and it was a problem. And I was like, you know what? I've been using these for a while. I'm gonna use them as like filler, because I have like a ridiculous amount of PA gear. I just made the decision to go and spend a little bit more on. Oh my God, you're amazing. My wife just came down here with a cup of coffee for me. She's gonna hit me with divorce papers. I can feel it. I can feel it. The end is near. There's arsenic in here. But I was looking to. I was like, do I repair or do I replace? And the cost to repair would have been just like replacing that speaker. So I made the decision at that point that I was going to make the move to QSC. I had worked for other people who use QSC. I bought those speakers, and it's been a decade. I haven't done any maintenance to them. I just bag them. I've dropped them I don't know how many times. These are the speakers I use all the time. And when it comes time, I think about this all the time. I'm like, I kind of want to downsize for trivia. And I'm like, I don't know. Like when the time comes, I will retire these, and they'll only be used for like larger events, specific stuff. And I won't be dragging them around all the time for everything. So it's amazing. You missed it, Dave. While I was talking, my wife came down and brought me a cup of coffee. And I said, I was like, dude, I'm getting served with divorce papers or something. Like she's going to hit me with or there's arsenic in here. She never does shit that nice. Never. I don't know.
Cheers to Miss Beef for coffee.
Cheers to Queen Beef, man. Oh, and it's a cup.
While you were talking, sorry, I had to step away because you gave me a really good idea. We've been talking about gear, and I actually have some gear that I actually had a specific experience with. It's not a hidden fact that when it comes to bait casters, I'm a Daiwa guy. When it comes to spinning reels, I'm a Shimano guy.
Yep.
I'm a weirdo.
Nothing wrong with that.
I can't pick a side. Lately, I've been talking to not a new reel brand, but a reel brand, a buddy of mine that works over there, and he's been hitting me with some reels, and I've been testing them out. They're pretty cool. But I have two Tattulas here, right?
Yep.
two tattooless. I have the SVTW, and then I have the CT. I was like, I'm going to go cheaper on this reel for my frog rod because I throw a lot of frogs and my reels get destroyed because I'm not throwing them in clear water. No, they just it's just so much cleaning and the gearing. It just gets really gunked up. It takes a long time to clean. And I don't like this, $200 something reel just getting destroyed over a summer and then, having to clean it. So I got the CT. I have nothing against the CT. No. Except for the third time I went frog fishing, blew it, broke it. The handle just spins and the reel doesn't turn. The gears just, yes. I'm not nice frog fishing.
No, of course. Frog fishing is generally the most violent fishing you're going to have, the most strain you're going to put on anything. It's that.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm going frog fishing in places where, I have the chances of PBing on a regular basis. So I'm throwing 80-pound braid. I'm not frog. And the problem is when you catch a 5-pounder, which is not my view, but you catch a 5-pounder, it's 13 pounds because it's a 5-pound fish with however much weeds is on top of it, so I just like the extra braid. And this reel handle completely blew. It's attached, but it just spins and the spool don't spin. And you can hear it clicking.
That's crazy.
Third time fishing it. I was like, okay. I put an SVTW back on.
It's been fine.
Haven't had a problem since.
Yep. Oh, shit.
Haven't had a problem since. So, you really get what you pay for. And I mean, it might just be a fluke, but that is enough of experience that I'm not going to be spending a bunch of money to find out that was a one-off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather just spend 100%. The money ahead of time.
You hear this stuff too. People talk about it with motor vehicles all the time. In segment 1 of this show, we talked about it because Becca was guest hosting that segment with me, and I was like, "Yeah, welcome to the Toyota family." Because she bought a Tacoma. And I'm like, yes. And when she did, I sent her every reel of that song. My name is Kyle and I drive a fucking Tacoma. Every single reel I could find. But she was like, there's brand loyalty and then there's brand reputation, and you got to look at I know there are folks that love their vehicle or whatever and something like that, but the reality of it is records are records and data is data, and there's just certain stuff out there that's just reliable regardless of the brand. But you hear about this and you're like, okay, so this has a good reputation. And I will say, I made a joke about warranties and everything. Warranties are something that you need to at least consider, because if somebody is willing to say that we're going to cover problems with this for an extended period of time, it means one of two things. One, the profit margin was so high that they're we owe it to you, or it means that the product quality they back enough to say you're going to have this in X number. Leatherman is a good example of that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a 25-year warranty. And they're just send it to us. And if we feel that it's not worth fixing for the cost, we're just going to replace it.
Yep.
Amazing. Yeah.
I've broken the clip on my Leatherman twice. Never had a problem.
Yeah.
They just, oh yeah, no problem. Send out a new one.
I broke the pry bar on mine doing fucking dipshittery. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? And I reached out to him. I was like, yeah, man, I broke this. I just wanted them to send me the part so I could swap it out myself. And they're like, no, you got to send it in. They're like, we'll have it back to you. I was like, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to worry about the pry bar. That lesson learned, but I'll give you a rod and reel example. St. Croix, Urke, both companies have been really good to me in the situation where I had warranty claims. I had an Urke rod. I've had many Urke rods. I had one. It was my bait finesse, the bass finesse, the one I use for micro jigs. I broke the tip right off. I don't know if it was setting the hook or fighting a fish, but I got the fish back, and the tip of the rod was down at the lure, and I was like. And honestly, I think in that situation, I think it might have been just a shipping thing.
Yeah,
because I have jacked some jaws with that replacement, and it's not an issue. So I think that's really what it was. My my St. Croix issue that I had, I bought a Bass X a while ago. It was my jig rod caught a giant 7-pounder on it, like beautiful fish. This rod was fantastic, and I had been reading some places that like the reel seat would come unglued, and that happened to mine. Like it just was unglued, and it was like it would spin, and I'm like, this is not good. So I reached out to them, and they're like, we totally understand. They're like, we'll send one to you. And you can put the claim in and everything. They're like, basically, all you have to do is just destroy the rod, send us photos, whatever. And they do that so this way you're not like abusing the system and now using 2 rods. Yeah. And it was a situation where they didn't even have that rod in stock. And they're like, you can the new Bass X, like they had redone it where to specifically to deal with this problem. They're like, we can send you a new one, just as is. They're like, or if you want to upgrade, there was like the charge was the difference in the price. I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And that's when I got the Trigon, the Mojo. And I'm like, I kind of love this.
How you like that?
I fucking love the Mojo bass. I love it. It is so soft. Like a lot of people have an issue with the way the grips are on the handle, the Trigon grips. Because they are kind of angular with like rounded edges. But I always hold, I don't have a reel down here, but I always hold my bait casting combos at the reel. Like I very rarely make contact with that because I want to feel the blank more than anything.
Yeah. Your fingers touch the blank under the reel seat most of the time.
Lots of rods. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's that, and then like it's just so I usually hold it there. I feel like I have better control, and it's just solid. But yeah, totally get what you pay for, and
also like I love how you talked about like look for the warranty. Sorry, I'm pouring coffee. Everybody, it's super rude of me. I love how you talk about. Look for the warranty. I've never looked for warranty, whether it be for vehicles or equipment of any kind. What I look for is resale value.
Oh, especially
when a car leaves the lot.
Yep,
it drops like crazy. Like, sorry guys, Dodge guys. Sorry, Bailey. Love you to death, dude. Like,
I think Bailey is reconsidering. Holy hell! And Joe's a Dodge guy. Yeah.
So Dodge guys, check your resale value. Because I mean, warranty's warranty. But what happens is, what's your equipment worth when you're done?
Yeah.
Right? Whether it be your fishing rods, your reels, whatever. So I always look, dude, when I'm looking at something new, I'm like, oh, dude, this is really cool. And I look up all the problems with it. And then I look up what's like retail, like Facebook Marketplace or, not Etsy, eBay or like whatever. I like start looking up used that style. Like what's the cost resale value wise? Like, is this worth the buy? Not so I could sell it later, but the quality in which, the owner deems it necessary, right?
Exactly.
And so, or the brand itself, like if you're getting cars. So I always look up resale value before I even start looking at warranty, just because I want to know what I'm getting is what it's worth.
It's so funny too, because like, I mean, I'm talking about making some purchases now. I'm looking at buying some guns, and I'm looking at the market and I'm seeing that there are brands that are known to be very cost effective. But also there seems to be a lot of stories about them. Some good, mostly bad, but it's just taking that information and doing something with it. So like I'm looking at like one of the things that I'm specifically looking for is a 38 special revolver, right? Because like I like a wheel gun, and it's a sure thing. I'm a Leatherman guy, I want to be able to count on it. Yep. I will probably be looking at the used market for an original Springfield made just because I'm a fucking loser and it's from this area. You know what I mean? Like an original Springfield made 38 snub nose,
Yes.
As my EDC, I'm looking to be an 80s detective is what. Shoulder holster and a sport coat.
You have to get a Dick Tracy hat.
Yes,
dude. There I was, and she walked in my office.
She walked in my office with a stack of dimes for a neck. Oh, Eli, thank you for that call. Before we wrap this, I have to share with you, Dave. I had the good fortune to sit down and record last night with some homies on an episode of Hoodlum Cast.
Oh, shout out.
So let me set the stage. I had finished recording this first segment of the show with Becca, and then I'd gone upstairs to have dinner with my daughter, and have a couple of ice cold Diet Cokes, and prep for this. And I popped a gummy, knowing full well it was time. It was about to go down. And in this room we had Wild Bill, we had Ken and Andrew, all from Hookset Hoodlums. We had Rodney, R&R Outdoors. We had Scuba Steve, who I haven't seen Scuba Steve in forever, but we had Cody, Lockwood Fishing in the house. And dude, it was unhinged. It was crazy. The conversation was insane. I was messing around with the soundboard the entire night. I played the FTG. Oh, dude, these dudes confronted Cody about. He was talking about this like plan that he has to get into surveying, like bridge stuff, pylons, things like that. You may have heard him talk about this on Bass and Brews recently.
I did. Yeah. I think it's genius.
He was talking about this on Hoodlumcast too, and then he goes on Hoodlumcast. I guess he corrected them. He was like, "It's not an underwater drone. It's not an underwater drone." They took the clip from Bass and Brews where he's like,
"It's basically an underwater drone,"
and he called him out. Dude, so they're all giving him shit, and I was just like, you know what? I go, this is reminding me of something. So we managed to get an FTG live on the spot there. I was like, this is too goddamn good. Man, the conversation was, I love those sons of bitches so much, dude. We have something going on that you should know about for sure. In August. August 1st is the date. Matt over at Boston Anglers, after he came out to the 300th episode, was like, dude, this is fucking awesome. He's like, we should definitely do something. So
Matt came out?
Huh?
Did you say Matt came out?
Matt.
Sorry. Continue. I heard it too. Sorry.
That was as good, on the same level as when Joe was like,
"I'll pack your shit so well."
And we were talking about holsters, and he's like, "It's just got
this little peg. I like to peg my fucking side off."
This fucking show, dude.
So, Packing and Pegging, American Vet Fishing. Go check them out.
Packing and Pegging, Old Glory Gagging. So he's gonna fucking beat my ass when he gets back from the Classic. We had Joe from the Classic live. I took the StreamYard link. I sent him a picture of all of us in there, and I was like, dude, and he jumped on from the hotel. He's down there right now. And he's staying at this Airbnb that's got two different living areas, like one main house and then like a loft. And they're staying in the loft. And the woman that owns this was like, oh, yeah, there's another competitor for the Classic that's here. It's not another competitor.
It's Beast Coast.
No, it's Beast Coast. So he's like, yeah, we're having a little get together, blah, 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 blah. And like, so of course, like Wild Bill, the chop busting is insane. It's just so good. But I say this because August 1st, mark it on your calendar. I know if you happen by some miracle to be on the East Coast in August, Tacklebox Brewing Company is having a Boston Anglers event. Jigs and Bigs will be a part of it. And I'm going to start connecting some dots to get some folks involved. I don't even know necessarily what we're going to call this event. If it's just going to be a one-dayer, but it's going to be awesome. And if Matt is involved, I am sure he is involving some amazing bait makers to be vendors. So it's going to be just unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's so good. And I was like, how perfect is it that it's at Tacklebox Brewing? Perfect.
The TBTT, the Tacklebox Brewing Team Tournament.
Maybe we should do that. Schedule a derb that day.
Yeah, dude.
That morning.
Just have everybody out there busting each other's balls, but have it be a draw of a hat team tournament where you don't know who your partner is. So it's like, you guys are it's like damn near fist fights on the water. It would just
my God, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. You just enter people at random, and all you do is just enter fish, and you're like, well, these two were a team. I got to talk to Binya. We might be able to make this happen. By the way, every tournament is live on Fishing Chaos right now.
I got to get
every single one. We have people already in the slot for April. We have, I think we have one team for the April team tournament. That's all live too.
So I got a question about the team tournaments, because the team tournaments, you guys labeled the states. Is it only by you guys that are going to be doing teams? Like me and Wienerfingers can't make a team out here and jump in?
Not yet. Okay. We're going to have other regions added. I think the whole idea is we were like, let's do this, but let's try it and see, make it a large enough region to kind of cover enough area. Because we're like, initially we were just going to do the New England states, and we're like, that makes sense. But I was like, I'm like New York and Pennsylvania and Jersey kind of get in this weird thing. Like, where do we put them? Because they don't really fit. Like maybe they fit well with like the Midwest a little bit in some ways, but like they certainly don't fit with like Virginia. It's like, and it's like, I feel like Virginia, Delaware, like all of Maryland, like they kind of get like crammed up with like Jersey and New York and PA. So I'm like, let's include those with New England, because they're also, all these states make up a massive amount of the Jigs and Bigs listening audience.
Yes.
But we are going to make other regions, and that's the goal. I think that this is going to be way more popular than anybody realized.
I think so too.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
I think it's going to be awesome. And I got to get on there and sign up for some. I just got to double check all my dates. I also am fishing the Yakabass this year. So I'll hopefully maybe they'll land on the same day and I can enter one fish in 2 tournaments.
Definitely.
That's cool.
That's the best way to do it if you can do it. And this year the Yak Attack board is a qualified board. So
yes, I'm glad you guys talked.
Yeah,
I tried to get you one. I'm glad you guys talked, though.
I have to. I need to actually reach out to Wade, because there is some rigging stuff I want to talk to him about on the boat. I'm actually thinking about putting a black pack in the boat.
Dude,
and
not a bad plan.
The reason is, like, when Binya comes with me and we fish, Binya does not hold back. I told him, I was like, don't hold back bringing any gear. Like most people that get on the implication, like, oh, what should I bring? I'm like, I've got plenty of stuff. Bring whatever you want. You will not bring too much gear. Binya leans into that. And he brings his yak pack. But what's nice is he can put it anywhere on that lowest level floor. The rod holders keep his rods nice and upright so he can work around them. So I think he can put like 5 rods on there, at least 4.
Yeah.
And this way they're not laying down on the deck or anything. I think I'm going to add a couple more of the Sport Track adapters that Yak Attack makes with the rod holders, so that this way there's some areas where there's additional rod holders on that end of the boat. They could also work well for maybe even trolling.
Yes.
Yeah. It's possible. Yes. The possibility is there. But I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking about the new cup holder. I think we talked about that.
Bro.
Yeah.
Those cup holder pros.
Yeah.
Legit. I just put 2 of them on my kayak. I'm still editing the video. It'll go up on YouTube so you can kind of see a bit better. But yeah.
But it is weird. I kind of want to be the guy that's like, yeah, Yak Attack for a big boat. Mm-hmm.
Yep. 100%.
And it's getting back to that budget conversation. Like, if I buy those Sport Track adapters from Lund, they're like $100.
Yep.
You can get them for 20 at Yak Attack. I mean, they're a different material. I know, everything else, but like for holding a rod on a boat that tops out at 30 miles an hour,
yeah, you're good.
My rods don't go anywhere, and I've got some big gear on there. So,
yeah, dude.
Fucking A.
Well, hey. Shout out to yourself for holding this entire show down, dude. You have been across the nation at this point.
I have.
Also at all hours of the last few days to get this show done. So cheers to you, Bobby Roast Beef. You killed this show.
I appreciate that, dude. We're never going to just straight up miss a week of this show. Like Joe has, and I know Joe's going to come back from the classic with lots to talk about. So this is why I'm like, when I texted him, I was like, dude, I'm available. We'll make it happen. You know what I got going on tonight, Dave? I'm going up to Brattleboro, Vermont to go see Flywalker.
Oh, dude, hell yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm going to go. I think I'm going up. I'm going to wear my Jigs and Bigs hoodie, and he's going to lose his shit. Holy fuck, this fucking old fat bastard showed up in my show. This is crazy. And I'm going to be the oldest person in the room, but I'm here for it.
Dude, I saw you used his song in the post the other day. And I was all rocking my head. I was like, "Yeah, dude, this is tight."
I'm telling you, man. It's like, and I'm going to be, leaning into like his stuff. High Speed Chase dropped a couple of names in that interview.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm leaning into that right there. Actually, I'll ask you. I asked the guys in Hoodlum Cast about their opinion here. I talked to Joe a little bit about it as well. I talked to Bronek about redoing the Jigs and Bigs Open. Doing a custom one, like a short verse and then like a hook and then an instrumental section that I can just talk over and then trigger that outro, the hook at the end, the same flow that I have now. It'll change the entire flavor of the show from the intro. The guys over at Hookset were like, they're like, you've been doing this for like 6 years and you've had like the same kind of open, like it's a little bit iconic. I'm like, I don't know, maybe we change some shit up, or maybe I just have I have them do reach out and have what's the term that I'm retain his services to make a Jigs and Bigs song.
So that's what I was going to say. You have had the flavor for a very long time. I love your flavor.
Yeah. Well,
but
thanks.
Just as the show has been changing over the years, maybe it's time to introduce something new. Dude, if it doesn't land, it doesn't land. You still have all the old tracks. But like I would say go out on a limb, reach out, be like, "Hey, bud, like I would love to do something specifically with you." Like these are people that were willing to come on your show. Like they know who you are, you know who they like. It's a relationship at this point. So the best thing people can do in this, especially in this very small industry, is like let's work on helping each other. And dude, all you got to do is be like, "Hey, let me put your voice on my stuff," and so on and so forth.
Definitely.
And that's every week. Every week somebody hears him, and you get new listeners all the time. So
for sure.
Yeah, it's new people introduction to both of you. Some of his people will probably still show up and take a look. Like, dude, it's awesome, dude. Like, that's us. That what is it called? The virtuous cycle.
The virtuous cycle. 100%. There's one before we wrap. I got to share this with you. So when Joe and I, when we were on Hoodlum Cast last night, Joe was talking about, how he's got some folks coming over, to hang out and do their thing and everything. And he's like, yeah, this will be cool. We're going to go and do this. It'll be great. And I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. And I was like, I mentioned this is a great time for everybody to make sure that they're following Meg on TikTok or on Instagram.
Yes.
Because she is going to drop some bangers like this one.
And they're both boys.
That was a clip where Joe and I were talking with Jacob Wheeler. She's just sitting off to the side recording this.
I love her stuff, dude.
So I said this in Hoodlum Cast, and Joe goes, so Meg walks in the background, and he goes, hey, Meg, everybody in here is going to start following you, so don't disappoint with the TikTok stuff, all right? She knew exactly what the fuck I was talking about. Exactly. So we'll see. I went to bed shortly after we got done because I was cooked. I was like, it's time, but good stuff. Hey, Dave, thank you so much.
Shout out to Wild Bill.
Oh, hell yeah.
Shout out to you.
You got to get on a Hoodlum Cast.
Someday, if they ever call me, I can try and make it work. But
it might be kind of nuts.
I actually have a question for him just directly. Like, am I the only person out here with Hookset Hoodlum gear?
No.
Okay, cool. I was like, dude, don't tell me I'm the only one.
Coley was a team member for quite a while. I think the Hookset Hoodlum staff pro chat might have scared her off a little bit, and I don't because Coley has class and scruples, and nobody in that group does. Shout out to Coley, man. She's making it happen with her new yak.
Oh yeah, Coley, dude, love you, Coley. I'm glad that worked out for you. Like, definitely. I'm glad you're in a kayak. Like, it makes me so happy to see you out there having a good time.
And she's in a truck now, so she's able to go all over the place. Like, dude, I'm telling you, the world. I can't wait to get to California. I got a trip to Santee Cooper on deck this spring, and I'm going to be fishing with. Ideally, I'll be fishing with. the Jabberhammer. There's one day that week where it'll work out, so we're going to try and make it happen. But also, I want to reach out to. There's a couple other folks that are in South Carolina as well, and I'm going to try and get out there as much as possible. And dude, I'm just going to fucking be in my absolute just nirvana flipping cypress trees.
Oh, dude,
that's all I want.
I want to fish cypress trees so bad,
right?
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's like one of those things like people have their target species. I'm like, I have target locations. Like,
yeah,
there's certain types of structure that I've seen and just want.
Exactly. I have been watching old like Bassmaster footage and I'm like, oh, okay, this looks pretty awesome. I'm actually using the CMAP app. Like I'm actually actively, I'm like, oh, okay, this bottom hardness looks good. Okay, so I'll mark this off here. We'll check that out. What I do need to do is start planning out launches because I don't want to be out there. It's a big lake. I don't want to be doing giant runs if I can avoid it. I'd rather go to a launch, focus on an area. If I decide to make a call and make a big run, I can do it. But, you know.
I love how you fish with a boat with a kayak point of view. You're like, I'm going to get close. I don't want long runs. I want to fish the most area. Like, most guys in kayaks don't want to make that long run, but guys with, big old jet boats or whatever, they're like, I'll go to 2-hour drive to go catch a fish.
If I had like Joe's boat or I had like a bass boat that could top up 50 plus all day, I'd go for it. I'd be like, whatever, that's fine. With mine, I'm like 30 miles an hour. I'm like, it's just, plus like, I'm going to bring additional gas with me. I'm going to bring a cooler, because I mean, it's going to be April, South Carolina. It's going to be warm. So I'm going to have obviously some cool, crisp Diet Cokes. I'll be drinking my Element and all that stuff. And I'm going to be rigged to the teeth with everything that I've got to fish with so that if I need it, I don't have to go back for it. So I'm going to have all that stuff and because it's going to be all content. It's going to be nuts. There's gators there, dude. I'm like... and my neighbor across the street, oddly enough, he had this like push pole, like skinny little paddle, right? Mm-hmm. And it's probably about like 8 feet long. And he goes, yeah, I don't know if you could use this, but he's like, I have no use for it. So, and I'm like, maybe, all right, I'll take it. So I left it in my backyard. I'm going to bring it as a push pole so that I can get into those shallow areas with the trolling motor up and just move around and position. Yep. I actually got that idea watching some Bassmaster footage, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Dude, and it doubles as a swamp puppy swaddle or paddle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when they get too close to your boat, you just kind of pop right on their head. They'll leave.
Yeah, that's another reason why I want to get a nice little revolver like cannon just for the safety of that, like eventually. But I'm not going to have my LTC by the time that trip happens. There's no way. No, it's going to take way too long to make that happen.
Well, dude, I will say, Bobby, cheers to you, dude. Again, you held this sucker down. We're now going to call you Bobby Eggs because you're basically scrambled as hell at this point.
It's true.
But I appreciate you, dude.
I appreciate you, Dave, man. And you've already had an amazing 2026. Once you get out there and start fishing, it's only going to get better, Yeah,
I got to get out there.
I love it, dude. Awesome.
But like I said, I feel for you more than myself because I could possibly get out there. I just got to do midnight sentence, and you're stuck on ice. So.
I think I'm going to be out in the boat today, just kind of organizing some stuff. Like today, I think is going to be boat cleaning day. I have some, they're almost like magic erasers kind of. Yeah. And I think I might actually take it for a ride to the car wash and just like get it all nice and clean so I can get it disgusting in the Connecticut River.
Yes.
Yes. We'll go ahead and make that happen. But you got anything you want to throw out there before we wrap up?
Shout out to Zach and Josh over at Dark Horse Tackle.
Yes.
You guys are just the best. Like, I appreciate both of you. Thanks for having me on, Bobby. I appreciate it, dude.
Anytime. You say the word. You ever want to jump on? Anytime. And I'm looking forward to the whole angler coming back.
Yeah. Sorry. I do a podcast sometimes. It took a break for a minute. It's called the Whole Angler Podcast. It will be coming back within the next 30 days. I should have one out.
I love that, dude. I love that shit. Well, you guys have a good one. We have more Jigs and Bigs goodness coming up in 7 days. Make sure to go and subscribe on Jigs and Bigs YouTube channel, as well as American Vet Fishing's. Check out AVF Tackle as well if you're looking for some JDM gear, as well as Dark Horse Tackle. We can't say enough. Like if you're looking for like that juice that's not in everybody's pocket, that you want to get that edge, the bait shop at Dark Horse Tackle is a great spot to go and take a peek. You guys have yourself a great one. We will see you in 7 days of more Jigs and Bigs goodness. You know how it is. Like we always say,
tits and ass, smoke some grass.